Greetings, humanity. I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns, and this is the Crimson Diamond, once again. I decided once again to do this. No, I did the thing, I think. Okay. It's like, did I remember to? Yes, I did. Okay, good. So many steps. So many tiny little steps to setting up a stream. One forgets so easily. There's a lot. There's a lot. But anyway, I'm here, and we're going to play this. I am a bit of a ways through. I'm on chapter 4? I can't remember which chapter I'm on right now. The Crimson Diamond, it's a murder mystery. It is now finally a murder mystery. I finally hit the point in the adventure where a body dropped. So we can now investigate the murder. I'm just going to jump in and explain things along the way. Because there's so much. There's so much. I actually left at a point where more things were potentially about to happen? We'll see. Anyway, we're going to load the game. Even more investigation, yes. Here we are. Here we are. It's the middle of the night. This is Jack, who is a housekeeper and does other stuff around the house. We just caught him and Nathan, who is a friend of the owner of the lodge that we are staying at currently, doing a thing that I highly suspect is scooping diamonds up out of the river and hiding them. I think that's what's happening. Anyway, hi. Jack, what are you looking for? I can help. Oh, never you mind. Another rather late for you to be out, isn't it? It really looked like you and Nathan were looking for something on the riverbank. Well, Margot lost an earring here a while back. A pretty one. So sometimes when I've got time, I'll take a look. I see. Liar! But, I haven't had a chance to talk to him since Margot passed away, unfortunately. I think it was poison. But you know, we'll see how things go. We examined the body. I can't remember what clues we had. Here, let me look at my notes. Margot is the owner Evan's, was the owner Evan's girlfriend, young girlfriend, and she has apparently been murdered. She stole a couple of things and then was murdered. So there is a glass jar near the eastern waterfall that we weren't able to pick up, just to the screen to the east of here. I have no idea what's in it. I'm considering going in and grabbing some boots and putting them on and using those to try to get onto the rocks that are very dangerous. Jack and Nathan are collecting something sparkly on the riverbank and hiding it in the smokehouse. We found them. Find Nathan again. Yes, I have some of the salt from the smokehouse. And I have an idea of what to do with it. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. I might need that glass jar for something. Let's see. Nessa, that's Evan's sister. She is older than he, and she wants half of the lodge. She wasn't expecting Margot's death. She can't find her father's will. But she and Corvus have a plan. Nessa to meet Albert in the gazebo. I have not been to the gazebo yet to listen in on this, but perhaps soon. I have no idea where to hide there, but we'll figure it out. Examine box of flypaper. Flypaper contains arsenic. Probably arsenic. There is an unusual odor in Margot's mouth. Probably the smell of the arsenic. We also got a silver key off of Margot's body. We haven't been able... We've tried different things. It hasn't opened anything yet, so we're working on it. Anyway... I can't believe she's gone. What do you think happened to her? Jack shifts uncomfortably and seems reluctant to meet your gaze. I think we should let it be, Nancy. Evan is in a bad way right now. We should give him peace and not interfere. Tell about Skin. Tell about Margot? Margot is so classy. She seems like a complete opposite of Evan, doesn't she? But it works for them. Margot is a good girl. Lesions. Lesions, that's the word. Tell about lesions. Ask about lesions. Can't say I got much to say about that. He should know there's a manual. Can't much to say about that. I know you have to respond sometimes with precise words, and I don't know that I have them. Hi, Sphinx! Greetings! Greetings, good to see you. We are back here once again, doing the murder mystery thing. He has not much to say about the river. One of the headlamps on the automobile is being finicky right now, too. What would happen if it went out? I'd be driving in the dead of night with not enough light to see by. A recipe for disaster. And still Mr. Richards says I gotta go. I know. It's not good. Nathan's helping me get the automobile ready for a drive to the train station. He's probably in the carriage house by now. Mr. Richards wants a telegram sent to the Rangers. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Hi, Unstable Deus. I'm interested in if you're able to determine the cause of Margot's death. I think it was arsenic. I think she was poisoned. Because there is this box of flypaper that we found that we were told was new, but it is empty. And we mentioned this to Jack, and he was like, huh, that's weird. So, yeah, I think somebody took, because the flypaper has, here, contains arsenic. The label sports a skull and crossbones. Thanks to your loop, you can read, danger, contains arsenic, do not eat. And so I think someone put the arsenic in her water. Has the mystery been murdered successfully? Yeah, they're trying. They're trying. I was getting close to giving up and looking at the hints last time, but I somehow managed to figure out what I needed to do to finish collecting fingerprints at that time, which at the time we were just trying to solve a theft, and now it's a murder. Not the same person. Margot did the theft, but she is no longer with us. Uh-oh. Let's see. We're not detective. We're a mineralogist, for goodness sake. We have a glass that we're using to listen in on conversations. Let's see. Ask about Nessa. I'm just going to ask about all the people again. If Nessa was a nicer person, I'd say the theft of her brooch was a real shame. Yeah, like, we know where the brooch is supposed to be, but we went into the place. Margot told us the room where the brooch is supposed to be. It's her walk-in closet. I went in there last time. We went in there and we searched the room top to bottom and was not able to find it. So I don't know what's happening with that. But there may be another way to find it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Also, a pair of mugs was taken, and I think she gave those to Nathan. She said she gave them to a friend she trusted. But we'll see how things go. Although I could ask about mugs. Ask about brooch. Yeah, no, that's not it. Ask about curio. Mr. Richards is pretty fond of the curio. It used to belong to his parents. It's got a bunch of silver steins and other heirlooms inside. That's the word, steins. Yeah, there's a pair of silver wedding steins that were in the curio cabinet. They're gone now. I don't know where they are. Honest, Nancy. I will say I don't think they're in the lodge. Just a feeling. So I know if that's the cause of death or not, but if that were the cause of death, there'd be certain signs which I don't think the game's creator was aware of. Possible. Um, there were lesions on Margot's skin, but I think that was a pre-existing condition that Jack was helping her with. Let me see. Margot's hair was thinning and falling out, which, yeah, I can't remember if that was, I don't know. There was also an unusual odor in her mouth, and that's all they wrote down here. But her skin looked deathly. Let's see. Kimmy's around here somewhere. She likes birds even more than I do. Yes. Let's see. Anything new? Evan, I've never seen him like this before. Margot's death hit him hard. Best to leave him alone. Yeah. Yeah, he's not doing great. Corvus. A highfalutin fellow. Albert. Bit of a temper on that one, huh? Yeah. Okay. I think that's all I can ask about right now. And now, no, we will not kill him. Have a good night, Miss Maple. Thanks, Jack. You too. And he is heading off that way, which is mildly concerning. The reason I'm going in here now is I'm going to steal some boots from Margot. Lesions are not a symptom of arsenic poisoning. Yeah, no, I think she had those already. Oh, hi. He's still drinking. Mr. Richards? Hey, who's there? Mind your own business. We're just having a little drink to take the edge off, okay? Evan doesn't respond to your attempts at conversation. Okay, sure, no problem. I'm just going to investigate. There's a thing here. The last of the water in Margot's glass has evaporated, leaving a white powdery residue. There it is! I wonder what this could be. A note has been added to your notebook. You take Margot's glass for safekeeping. This could come in handy. The drinking glass you got from the kitchen. Spotless. No, that's the wrong one. You've discovered a finger. We had that already. Smell glass. Your nose doesn't notice anything of note. Okay. I couldn't take it before because he was sitting in here. Right next to that. Offer Evan a glass of water. Yes. Pitcher doesn't benefit from closer examination. It's in the glass. I just got to figure out what the powder is. Oh, the boots are more forgivingly sized. You wouldn't dream of wearing another person's boots. Dang it! Okay. That's not going to help us right now. Search for brooch. See, like, you can go around here. Nothing is stuck into its underside, nor is anything secreted in the plush upholstery. Because, I mean, I don't need to do this all over again. Wait a minute. Look under rug. There's nothing under the carpet here or anywhere. Anywhere. I looked behind everything. She said it's in here. But where? Okay, I'm done. I don't know what else might be locked that... Yeah, the key to. I guess we'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so that wasn't at all helpful. What I think we're going to do instead, I'm going to try something. Because we need, there's Kimmy. I didn't know anyone named Carl Nancy. She's hiding from the owls. She's looking for owls. Now I'm just going to reconfirm that you open the smokehouse door. Yes, there is the salt. Dang it. Okay. I think I know what I need to do. But I'm actually going to use the handful of salt that I have now for different things. Maybe. Be careful not to stray too close to the raging river. This is the problem, of course. Let me delete a thing. Here, I'll delete the nervousness. Night wandering. Put salt on rocks. Look at rocks. Even from here, you can see the mist from the waterfall has made the moss wet and slippery. I was thinking about salting the rocks. There's a bottle in there. A roaring waterfall flows speedily off the escarpment. There are mossy rocks by the water that look pretty slippery. Far off to the north, you can just make out the smokehouse. West leads to the jetty. You see something bobbing in the rushing water, caught amongst some rocks. I think it looks like a glass jar. There's the word. You can't reach that from where you are. I need to find a safe way to get closer. Wouldn't let me pick up the cane. A couple of trees are clinging heroically to the side of the escarpment. Wait a minute. I have a rope. You tie the rope around the tree. Tie rope to Nancy. I feel this is a great opportunity to die. I know, right? You tie the loose end of the rope around your waist. I'm not walking around with this rope tied around me. Get jar. We picked up this rope a while ago. You take the glass jar. That would be a great time for someone to come along and cut the rope, I suppose. Not a great time, you know. A note has been added to your notebook. Untie rope. You untie the rope from around your waist. Get rope. In your enthusiasm to secure the rope to the tree, you created a series of utterly undoable knots. That's okay, the rope has done its part. Aha! Okay. Let me see if I can... Hey, you were right! That's unfortunate. Watery grave! I got an achievement. Fast-moving bodies of water are very dangerous. You should stick to the slow, safe rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Okay. That was a great opportunity, yes. Anyway, here we have a jar. The jar you retrieved from the raging river. Inside is a damp strip of flypaper. This looks like one of Jack's jam jars. Oh boy. Closer inspection reveals a white powder residue at the bottom of the jar, a strip of damp flypaper inside the jar, and a small oily spot on the outside of the jar. A small oily spot, you say? Oh. Dust. Jar for prints. You brush some soot onto the surface of the jam jar. You reveal a distinct fingerprint, which is insane because it was in the water. But in true Sierra fashion, death is at every bend in the river. I mean, this is the first time I've actually, we've actually died in this playthrough. And we had to make it happen, you know? We were warned. More notes have been added. Get print with tape. Get print. Closer inspection reveals white powder residue to the bottom of the jar, stripping out flavor, and sooty fingerprint on the outside of the jar. Upon even closer examination of the fingerprint on the jam jar and comparing it to the rest of your collection, you conclude, aha, this fingerprint belongs to Nessa. Did she kill Margot? She might have killed Margot. That's not good. That's where this information is pointing. Let me look at my notes and see where we are with this. You've been very cautious, though, almost like you were expecting failure and or death. Well, I grew up on Sierra games. And Infocom games. And Adventure International. I actually first learned it with the Adventure International text adventure games by Scott Adams, the not the Dilbert guy, the other Scott Adams, the programmer Scott Adams. And there was a lot of death in those. There was so much death. I had to save a lot. Nessa wasn't expecting Margot's death. All right, we've already read that. Found Jack and Nat. Find Nathan again, street salt. We need to boil the salt away from what's inside it. Examine Margot's glass, found white residue, retrieve glass jar, look at jam jar. Examine the jam jar and found white residue inside. Dust the jam jar for fingerprints. Examine the jam jar again, found Nessa's fingerprint on the glass jar. Smell jar. I think that if we find out what this powder is, there will be issues. Anyway, that's where we are now. I'm wondering if I should... there are a couple of things. There are a couple of things I need to do at the house, but let us continue doing this. Because I feel as though... Hi, Kimmy. I feel as though there's more. Corvus is still sitting there. Nessa is there. Hide! Yeah, don't mind me. This is a good place to listen in. Here we go. I still need to go down to where Nathan is. But that's in a moment, hopefully. Here we go. Ah, there you are. It's about time. Considering what this document will do for you, madam, I'd say it's well worth the wait. This will make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. Never you mind what it'll do for me. I still have some work to do to make this all pay off. Even though this report says there are diamonds in Crimson, I need to make sure that the land comes to me. Otherwise, this field report of yours is useless. That is your problem. My role in this is finished. That woman, Kimmy, I think she's hiding something. And I'm going to find out what. Really? Very enthusiastic ornithologist. Is that so? Well, she's either lurking in the woods or in the bedroom she shares with nosy Nancy. Yes. Kimmy seems like a bird-crazy bore to me, but that's your business. Should we warn Kimmy about this? Nessa hands Albert another envelope, this one thicker than the last. There, that's all the money. This report better pass muster with the government. Oh. It will, I assure you. That's what he was doing in his room. He was writing. He was doing a lot of heavy writing. Good night, madame. Good night. Nancy Drew? This character's name is Nancy Maple, but I have a feeling that the name might have been inspired by what you're thinking of. Okay. Albert is suspicious of Kimmy. Nessa paid Albert for a report stating there are diamonds in crimson. Which is interesting because Evan was going to pay Albert for a report stating that there aren't diamonds in crimson. And I'm still questioning whether Albert is even a real mineralogist, but that's another matter. I've got to, I need to delete some things. I think the name was intentionally chosen. Yes, I think so. I think they named her Nancy after Nancy Drew. More night stuff. All right, let's do this. Okay, that is the carriage house. Carriage house is larger than many homes back in the city. It has an asymmetrical roof and two entrances. The main entrance is a set of double doors for the automobile. The smaller side door is for people. North leads to a gazebo, east to the lodge, and south eventually leads to the river. Nathan is here. But we cannot see him yet. Okay. Let's go say hi to Nathan. And I think we have to ask him some things. About what, I'm not sure. Ah, here's Nat. A note has been added to your notebook. Found Nathan again. Okay, good. I'm trying to remember. I found some white residue at the bottom of Margot's drinking glass. Uh-oh. I obtained this small silver key from Margot's pocket. I wonder what it unlocks. This jar I recovered from the river contains a wet strip of flypaper, and the label on the box of flypaper warns that it contains arsenic. Could this be how Margot was poisoned? I think so. I found Nathan. Now what? Look at Nathan. Nathan Cardinal is a tall, imposing man in his early 40s. He doesn't seem very talkative, and you get an impatient, perhaps even anxious air about him that he tries to conceal. Nathan is inspecting and adjusting the headlamp on the automobile. Well, first of all, I don't know if it'll help if I do this here. Okay. Okay, we're going to talk to Nathan. Good evening, Nathan. Ah, I thought maybe you were Evan. Sometimes he likes to walk the grounds when he is troubled. I wonder where he is now. Ask about car. Evan gave me his father's automobile when it started needing constant maintenance. It has become a hassle for him to call on me to fix it at the lodge, so he said I could have it. It worked out for both of us. I got to own an automobile, which is a rarity up here, and Evan made room in his carriage house for a new one. Huh, okay. Let me see. Anything about that, Miss Maple? Ask about... There's a lot we could ask about. River. I don't know anything about that, Miss. Owls? Do you know anything about owls? No. Okay. Because that's what Kimmy was looking for. She does like birds, doesn't she? Yep. They don't prey on the same fish that fishermen seek. That is a misconception. Okay. We're going to ask about people now. Ask about Jack. Jack should be along shortly. He may be in the bedroom he's sharing with Corvus, getting ready. He's driving to the train station to send a telegram about Margot's death. I'm just getting the automobile ready for him. You know who Carl is? I don't know anyone called Carl. We don't get many visitors around here. That was on a previous telegram. Ask about... Okay. I've never seen him like this. Please look out for him. Ask about Margot. Margot's death is shocking. She was a kind woman. It's a sad state of affairs. I've known Evan for a long time. I've never seen him like this. He needs to grieve. Jack's driving to the train station to send a telegram about Margot. This is ranger business. It is. And they'll be able to reach the telegram station. That's fine. But of course, no one can leave the house until, No one can leave this area until the bridge is repaired. And I don't think the Rangers can get over here either unless they're, coming in a different way somehow. Let's see. The bridge was built for the trains. Passengers, timber, and minerals are transported across it. Although now that Crimson has declined, there isn't much reason for the train to stop here. Oh, maybe there are still roads. They're the law in these parts. Ranger Dan visits the lodge on occasion. I avoid the Rangers, even the nice ones. I never know when one might decide to make my life more difficult. Especially considering I sneak off the reservation to visit, which is against their laws. Oh, I had no idea. A note has been added. Please keep that to yourself. Of course. Nathan risks losing his Indian status if he's caught off reservation. As his native Canada area status. Ask about Native Canadian. Native North American? There we go. Ask about Dan. There have been a number of rangers who've been assigned to this area. The latest ranger is Dan, quiet, dark hair. When the lodge still had a piano, he'd play it whenever he'd stop by. Oh, okay. Let's see. Nessa. I think I saw her walking around just north of here. She had no love for Margot, but even still, she's being pretty insensitive. Evan is her brother, after all, and he's just suffered a terrible loss. Yes, ask about Corvus. I saw him sitting on the bench outside. Me too. That bench has been there for many years. It was nice at first, but hasn't been taken care of. It's splintery and warped, and not a pleasant place to sit. Corvus seems to be the only one who enjoys sitting there. That's interesting. It may be he was just there waiting to hear from Nessa. But we'll see. I should check the bench on the way back in. But that said, yeah, sure. My father told me that Richard Sr. promised this land would be returned to my family, but wasn't clear on when. I happen to know that Richard Sr. didn't have a will, but Evan does. I've said too much already. It's a complicated matter. Yeah, we found that out from Evan earlier, like on day one. Well, I shouldn't be telling you this, but let's see. Ask about, which is why he's going to die of almond poisoning. I'm pretty sure. Because he's allergic to almonds. Let's see. Who's left? Albert? He keeps to himself. Yes, he does. Anyone else? Anyone else? I think that's everyone. I will now ask about the Steins, because I think he has them. Now that Margot's gone, someone else should know about this. About what? Margot entrusted the silver wedding steins in the curio cabinet to me. She wanted me to keep them at my home until Nessa and Corvus had departed. I somewhat understand about Nessa wanting her share. Couldn't one stein go to her and one to Mr. Richards? Evan loves his parents. It was their wish that the steins not be separated. Nessa knew that too, and so did Margot. Evan is a good man, but he'd cut off his own nose to spite his face, especially when it comes to his sister. Margot knew what Evan's like, so she couldn't ask him to hide the steins. He would have given Nessa both of them to placate her. And then the steins would have been sold off to the highest bidder. It's within Nessa's rights to turn the lodge upside down looking for the steins, as this was her house too. So Margot couldn't ask Jack to hide them here, nor could she effectively hide them herself, which is why she asked me. And why are you telling me? It can't be just because I asked. No, it's because things are getting dangerous. Nessa has proven even more vindictive than I imagined. In case something happens to me, someone else should know about the steins, and restore them to their rightful owner once the danger is past. To return what was once given in good faith. Evan promised that to me, about this lodge and lands. I hope to repay that gesture. I know it can be hard to tell sometimes. Evan and I are friends. Longtime friends, who sometimes are at odds, and sometimes keep secrets, but always friends. Please help me keep this secret from Evan until I can return the steins safely to him. I understand. I won't tell. Thank you, Nancy. Note has been added to your notebook. Tell Evan about steins. No. Nathan has the silver steins for sale for safekeeping. Steins for sale. What? Has the signs for safekeeping. Okay. I don't know. I haven't been able to find the brooch. I know where it's supposed to be. I won't involve myself with Nessa or her trappings. Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't know anything about that, Miss Maple. See, I can't seem to tell people about anything. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? Not that I can think of. Should I climb up there and hide? No. I have my doubts that it was truly found on this land, and even if it was, who's to say that there's enough to mine? It would be like the garnets all over again. Yeah, I think, well, we don't have the proof yet. Okay. That will do for now. I mean, part of me wants to just do this. Even though I've just talked to him. Because I feel like I'm supposed to hide here and overhear something. I was right. I've made adjustments to the headlamp. Should be fine now. Thanks, Nathan. Other than the minor repair, there are no other problems with the automobile. Do you think Albert suspects anything? Who cares what he thinks? We've kept him here. He might be convinced to help us. That's what's important. Oh, good Lord. Convinced, bribed, threatened. He'll be useful. I think so. He and I are meeting up in the boathouse to discuss his possible usefulness. Oh, God damn it! Well, more conversations are coming up. And I mean, we knew this. We knew this going in. Evan tried to make Albert go away earlier. It didn't work. And now that the bridge is out, that's unlikely to happen. Maybe Albert can be persuaded to head westward for the right price. Maybe. I'll let you know what transpires. I'm going to look for Evan. I can tell he's upset, but you know how he is. Always going off on his own, yeah. Maybe try the jetty? Thanks, I'll check there. I have a few other places in mind first. My meeting with Albert in the boathouse begins shortly. I will look for Evan after that. Good luck. What's funny is I knew I wanted that because I could climb up there, because I found that out earlier, that something was going to happen with that, but I didn't realize it would be this so soon. Like right after you talk to him. A note has been added to your notebook. Find Evan. Uh-huh. Well, we know where we saw him last. I know every time. Why is autosave off? There's more secret meetings here than in Deadline. I know, right? It's a lot. I have to be careful here. It is interesting to see what is happening, though. Lots of secret meetings. You climb down the ladder. Nathan yelps in surprise. Oh, Nancy, I didn't see you there. I don't know if, like, we just talked to you just before we... Anyway. Wait. Hide. Lie down. You have to wait for him to leave. Push, hey. Even a city girl such as yourself can tell that those hay bales are old and dusty. It seems there hasn't been much need for them in a long time. Search hay. Examine the hay. Push the bale. Okay. Because I don't know if that's supposed to happen or not. I think maybe the conversation I had with Nathan is supposed to happen now. Which is funny. But, I don't know. It's all strange. Oh, Nancy, I didn't see you there. He keeps to himself. Sure. I'm just gonna go now. Pardon me, Miss Maple. I'm expected elsewhere. Yes, I know where you're expected. I will stand here and wait until you leave. Have a good night, Nancy. Good night, Nathan. I wonder where Nathan's off to. You know where Nathan's off to! Talked to Nathan. Yeah, that was supposed to happen afterwards. That is funny. Okay. The thing being, we need to do a thing real quick. First of all, you can see some shoe prints by the wooden bench. These shoe prints look very fresh. Due to the shade provided by the bench and nearby trees, the ground under and around it is damper and softer than other areas. That's why there are shoe prints here and nowhere else. We know this. We knew it was Corvus. These shoe prints look like they came from a size 14 shoe. I've seen Corvus sitting here not that long ago. The style of his shoes also match these prints. That's good. Where shall we enter? I need to check something. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. This is Evan Richards' writing desk. The sturdy mahogany surface sits on double pedestals, each of which boasts a drawer and a cupboard. On top of the desk is a blotter, a brass lamp with a green glass shade, a clock, and a pen stand set. The desk drawers and cupboards are all open and look like they've been rifled through. Walk closer to the part of the desk you'd like to search and specify whether you'd like to search a drawer or a cupboard. Okay, fine. Look at the papers. The contents of the desk have been strewn all over the carpeted floor. At a glance, the papers are old guest receipts from the lodge's glory days, as well as some general bookkeeping. I wasn't able to look at these earlier because Nessa was here. Nessa has inconsiderately stepped on some of the papers, too. What a mess. Nessa's stepping on the documents scattered over the lush carpet and has created very clear imprints of her shoes. This shoe print looks like a woman's shoe with a bit of a heel. It could only be from Kimmy's or Nessa's shoe. If I can figure out either Kimmy's or Nessa's shoe size, I can find out whose shoe this belonged to. We know it's Nessa. Upon closer inspection, you think you can barely discern a couple of oily spots on one of the papers. Okay. You're reluctant to soil the papers with soot. You decide the situation merits it. After carefully applying a bit of soot, I found a couple of distinct fingerprints. Aha! You've uncovered a couple of fingerprints on one of the papers. Okay, here. Get papers. You're a mineralogist, not a forensic accountant. Okay. Get shoe print. Get finger. Get prints with tape. You tear off 2 pieces of tape and gently press them onto the powdered fingerprints. Okay. Here's our collection. Your complete collection of fingerprints of everyone in the lodge. You've collected 2 fingerprints from the scattered documents on the floor of the study. Your extremely helpful collection of fingerprints obtained from everyone at the lodge. And obtained in some very interesting places, too. God. Compare prints. Upon closer inspection and comparing with the set of fingerprints you've collected, you conclude, one of these fingerprints I lifted from the documents in the study belongs to Mr. Richards, which is as it should be, but the other fingerprint belongs to Nessa, which isn't surprising considering how she was pawing through these papers earlier. But I'm glad I now have solid evidence of this. A note has been added to your notebook. Proof Nessa was meddling in the study. Yes. Search drawer. Search. Hang on. Search cabinet. Cabinet. This right cupboard is empty. cupboard. That's what they're called. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was. Look in waste basket. There isn't anything in the waste paper basket. Lift blotter. Ah, lungs. Okay. You ever do that thing where you sneeze and throw your back out? Ah! Okay. Well, that was stuff I wasn't expecting to find, but there it is. I'm gonna try something. I think it's down here. Get pan, saucepan. I like Jack's cooking too much to permanently deprive him of his saucepan. That's fine. Fill pan with water. You fill the saucepan halfway with cold water from the tap. Put salt in water. I could use this drinking glass to dissolve the rock salt. You drop the rock salt into the drinking glass. Okay. I need to fill this drinking glass with water if I want to dissolve this salt. Pour water into glass. Wasn't expecting that. You fill the drinking glass with water, you wait a little bit, and the rock salt should be dissolved by now. Oh, hey, Crit Twitch. Who have we killed today? It is a new day after all. No, same number of dead bodies. Just the one. Are those various colored pills you're carrying for no reason? Ah, I will tell you what those are. A handful of Jordan almonds. Colorful, unpalatable, and harder than most rocks you've studied. The surface of the Jordan almond is disconcertingly smooth and unblemished. Can nothing scratch its indomitable shell? They're almonds. You filled the drinking glass with water. You put some salt in the glass. There is salty water in the glass. You admire the brilliant shine of the squeaky clean drinking glass. The drinking glass is filled with water. Okay, that's it then. Okay. Pour water into sink. Some of the rock salt doesn't seem to have melted. Strange. You remove the undissolved rocks and put them in your pocket. Ah, there it is. I would not go so far as unpalatable, but the rest of that is true. You could use those to take out an animal with a slingshot. Maybe. Bizarrely, some of the crystals you got from the bag of rock salt didn't dissolve in the water. How strange! These tiny colorless minerals from the salt sample aren't salt, as they didn't dissolve in water. The insoluble crystals look like little octahedrons. But these are a little too small for me to examine properly with my loupe. I'll need to take these back to the museum and get them under a microscope. Excellent work. Yeah, thank you. Rub crystals on plate. I don't have that right now. I have a streak plate. Rub salt on plate. The rock salt sample doesn't make a streak on the plate. This definitely isn't rock salt. This colorless mineral could be diamond, or white garnet, or quartz. The unglazed ceramic plate has a Mohs hardness of about 6 or 7. So this sample I obtained from the bag of rock salt could be any colorless mineral harder than that. Still, this is a good bit of field work. And we have another note. Dissolved rock salt and water. Have a salt sample to take to the museum for analysis. Streaked rock salt. Okay. I have no idea what to do with this. I was going to use the pan. I didn't realize she was going to use the glass. So, pour water into sink. Pour pan into sink. Put pan away. Because I thought that was what we were going to use. But clearly there's something else we can do with that later. Discarded flypaper strip is stuck to the inside of the waste paper basket, and no, you don't want it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Can I dust the box for prints? No. Nothing in the wastebasket. Unless he's been murdered already, that would be a problem. As far as, you know, trying to find Nathan. We should... Oh, the dining room's a bit chilly. Oh... The dining room is an impressive sight. A massive Persian rug covers the floor, on top of which stands an elegant dining table matching chair. This we've had this description. A door to Wesley's main door. You can see the kitchen through a doorway in the north wall, bar through a doorway in the south wall. The double doors leading outside have been left ajar. There's a large puddle of liquid here, soaking into the hardwood floor and under the double doors leading outside. That's perhaps a problem. There's a large puddle in front of the double doors leading from the lodge. Some of the liquid is soaked into the plush carpeting, but a good deal of it is still a puddle on the hardwood flooring. After taking a closer look and sniff at the spilled liquid, you conclude it is Canadian whiskey. Ah, Evan might have been out there. Possibly from the decanter that's on the sideboard. Was on the sideboard, I should say. He was drinking from the decanter. Nessa was out here. This is the east side of the house. There is a door built into the ground, most likely leading to a cellar. You can see a shed and veggie patch east of here. South of here is the front section of the lodge. North is dense forest. Scattered wet patches of liquid seem to be leading south. I have a feeling the trail is spilled liquid leading to from the south. I worry that this is going to lead to another body. The porous paving stones have soaked up most of the liquid, but you still smell a strong aroma of alcohol. Oh dear. Because if we follow this now, we might not be able to do the other thing. I'm going to find a different save slot for this. Nessa went to the east. What's she doing? Ah, Nessa and Corvus seem to be having an intense conversation. If I can get closer, maybe I'll be able to hear what they're saying. Good Lord. No. No. There we go. You conceal yourself behind an ideally situated apple tree. I won't be needing this anymore. Nessa takes a silver flask from her pocket and pours it out onto the grass. She's poisoned him already. What's that? Water adulterated with poison. I soaked flypaper in a glass jar and poured the liquid into my silver flask. Uh-huh. Toss the jars over the waterfall, easy as pie. I don't think it would be quite so effective. I didn't think it would be quite so effective. I was thinking it would be more gradual, less dramatic. The tart couldn't even die properly, but no matter. It could look suspicious and be investigated. What does it matter? There aren't any rangers around, or any other form of law in this godforsaken place. But we don't want any more complications. This will all be over soon, but we need to be bold. I'm ready for the next step. Good. Yeah, that's a problem. So, we just overheard that she killed... What a strange conversation! She killed Margot! Nessa mentioned tossing some jars into the river by the waterfall, so that's why I found Nessa's fingerprint on the jar. A note has been added to your notebook. Listen to Nessa and Corvus' conversation. Nessa has emptied her flask of liquid. Nessa threw jars into the waterfall. Nessa was somehow involved in Margot's death. Nessa and Corvus are up to something. Really? I can't imagine what. There's too much happening. Okay. If I continue following this whiskey trail... Bottles of whiskey are staggered at irregular intervals, both on and off the path, almost as if whomever was responsible for them was also staggering. This doesn't bode well. No, you're right. I need to, I need to decide if I need to tear off and listen to their conversation at the boathouse before I get wherever I'm going, because I feel like it's going to be important, and that I may not get the opportunity otherwise. Oh, I know where I can hide. Ah, yes, Spooky Forest, perfect. There's a boathouse and a dock here. A canoe bobs up and down with the river current. Cattails line the riverbed. You can see a cliff looming to the west, forest to the north, and the bridge to the east. Nathan is here. Open door. We're gonna hide in one of these canoes. Close door. Hide. Hide in canoe. We're going to eavesdrop again. Fair about snooping. Yeah, because like I feel like if I discover Evan's body, or Evan, before I do this, then I won't have the opportunity to do this, is what I'm thinking. Mr. Cardinal, are you here? I'm a busy man. I won't be kept waiting. I think Evan must have taken his kit. I don't know. Who knows? Well, we'll see. I'm here. Have you prepared the document? Of course, signed and sealed, very official. Oh my god! He's playing both sides for a bigger payout! This is hilarious! This is a con artist. He is absolutely a con artist. A report declaring there are no diamonds in Crimson or the surrounding areas. He was doing 2 reports! Good. Do you even care to know if there really are diamonds here? No. I care about protecting this land from further environmental devastation. Ah, well, it's no concern of mine. A pity about the girl. What a shocking turn of events. I suppose that simplifies matters whenever Mr. Richards should happen to pass. What are you insinuating? Nothing. It's none of my business, I'm sure. I've already paid you. Give me what I'm owed. Of course. Here you are. My God. If this document is challenged by anyone for any reason, you'll be hearing from me. Goodbye. This is hilarious. A note has been added to your notebook. Yep. Yep. So the plot thickens, as they say. Yeah. Nathan bought a mineralogical report from Albert that states there are no diamonds in Crimson. Great, so now there's one of each. Albert's just selling reports to everyone. Okay, I think we can safely go back to the whiskey trail now. If I can remember where it is. Here we are. Back to the whiskey trail. Which... I just don't know. I just don't know. Here, I'm going to delete the second sample. And... there we go. Ah, Mr. Richards, there you are. Okay, he's still alive. That's good. He might not be shortly if there are almonds in there. Mr. Richards? Evan doesn't acknowledge your presence. He looks lost in thought. Or maybe highly inebriated. Possibly both. Found Evan. There's a jetty here overlooking the rushing river. Cattails line the riverbed, and there's a rotting log lying on its side. A dirt path leads north into the forest, west leads to the bridge, and east to the waterfall. Evan is here. There's a trail of spilled liquid leading to the jetty. I'm going to save the game again, because I have a feeling a thing is about to happen, but we'll see. The liquid here has yet to be absorbed into the dock. Even in the moonlight, you can see that it's golden yellow and that it's whiskey. What a waste. The liquid on the jetty is definitely alcohol and not river water. Besides the spilled alcohol, jetty is dry. We need to get a sample of that. Doubt Mr. Richards would take too kindly to that. We're going to look at Evan. Evan is quietly morosely drunk and sits precariously on the edge of the jetty. Talk to Evan. Mr. Richards, what are you doing here? Mr. Richards ignores you and continues drinking. Sit. Look at decanter. Evan is pouring whiskey out of the crystal decanter into a glass. He is doing that pretty frequently. That looks like the crystal decanter from the living room. Uh-oh, that's pretty strong stuff. The crystal decanter seems to be the source of an inexhaustible supply of whiskey. Yes, this is true. Ask about whiskey. Evan doesn't respond to your attempts at conversation. Ask about almonds. What glass? I'm just taking frequent slips out of the drinking glass, refilling it from a crystal decanter. Drinking glass doesn't appear to be particularly noteworthy. I have one just like it. Convenient to have a Hellspawn decanter sometimes. Not sure what to do about that at this point. You can try to give him a cookie. I wonder if telling him about the flypaper is gonna do... Anyway. I'm gonna... Let's save the game again before we do this. Evan doesn't appear to be receptive to anything you'd want to tell him. Okay. Well, we found him. We now just need to find Nathan or someone that we can trust to... Well, I don't know who to trust, because Nathan does have motive to knock Evan off. And Jack has taken off to the telegram station. This is a tough one. Hard to know who to say anything to. It's a good question. It is a fair question. I need to ponder it for a moment. I actually need to take care of something real quick. I will be right back while we think about this. Let me go ahead and turn that on. Yes. See you shortly. I have returned. And, I do have to wonder what is happening. I do have to wonder. Just must think about it. I'm going to review what we're doing here. I found some white residue at the bottom of Margot's drinking glass. Uh-oh. I obtained this small silver key from Margot's pocket. I wonder what it unlocks. Haven't figured that out yet. This jar I recovered from the river contains a wet strip of flypaper. And the labels on the box of flypaper warns that it contains arsenic. Could this be how Margot was poisoned? I imagine so. As Nessa just said so. What a relief. I found Mr. Richards. He looks a bit tipsy, but he's safe. Currently. Just waiting for someone to push him in. Your hat looks pretty good considering you got it secondhand. I don't know what we need the hat for, but we might need it for something. Closer inspection of the river sample with the loop reveals nothing new. These hard little minerals will require further study, but you're currently unequipped for that. I hope one day. Thumbprint. Anyway. Small silver key doesn't benefit from closer examination. Gotta figure this out. We must figure it out. Okay. Let's see. Where else shall we go? Just wander around a bit, see if we can find people. I hear a rumbling in the distance. Is that thunder? Ah, it sounds like an automobile heading towards the carriage house. Is Jack back from the train station? Maybe I should head over there and see what's going on. Or I could head to the lodge and see what's going on there. Damn it! Note has been added to your notebook. More stuff. Go to the dining room when ready. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hang on. Just gotta deal with a thing. Real quick. There we go. Okay. Yes, he's here currently. Just wander through the woods. Just wandering the woods at night. I hear voices near this doorway. I wonder what they're talking about. Here we go again. You hear muffled voices, but they're too far away from the door for you to discern what they're hearing. Listen with glass. With the help of the drinking glass, you can hear a conversation behind the side door. Alright, here we go. They can't know why you're really here. Who knows what can happen? Okay. Ah! New character! I presume this is Dan. Could this be Ranger Dan? You picked someone up. I don't know. Of course. Or could it be Carl? I understand the potential risk involved. I will be discreet with my investigation. We'll just say you were in the area, and that's how you got here so soon. Not that you were already on your way. Understood. The young lady. Margot. Yes, Margot. Is there any reason to believe her death was suspicious? She's always been a bit sickly. Don't bother yourself with that. Just make like you're looking into her death. That'll be a good cover. But focus on what you're really here for. Okay, Jack. Oh no! Conversation seems to be over. A note has been added to your notebook. The ranger isn't here to investigate Margot's death. He has another purpose! Should we go in and talk to him? Or should we just keep wandering around? I know with a lot of these, I've just sort of been... You open the carriage house door. Oh, hello, Nancy. This here's Ranger Murdoch. Lucky for us, he was in the region. How do you do, miss? Oh, pleased to meet you. We're all going to meet up in the dining room. Come along when you can. Will do. Is this Dan Murdoch? Or is this a different ranger from Ranger Dan? Come to think of it, I'm going to have a cup of tea in the kitchen before heading to the dining room. It was a thirsty ride back. Good evening. Please meet us in the dining room. Yes, sir. Yeah. Have to close the door. We must keep things together. There's so much happening. Why? Why is there so much happening? I don't know that... I don't know that we should immediately go to the dining room. I mean, I had a thought to go and look... We need to, yeah. You still here? Nope, okay, never mind. There's a ranger here. Okay. Never mind. Don't mind me. Just gonna hang out and listen to people for no apparent reason. I'm sure everything's fine. Really, it is. I had some things I needed to take care of. Let me just, it's doubtful that this is needed right now, but found out that you can like look in the windows. In case you see something you should have... That's the bathroom. Oh, right. You can see into the hallway. You can see into the spare room. They pointed it out when last I was here. So I just think about it. I think about it a lot. Okay. Don't want to do any of that right now. what have we here? You haven't fooled me with your timid act. I'm on to you. If you dare follow me once I'm done here, you won't make it to your next destination. Consider yourself warned. Excuse me? Albert confronted Kimmy about something. I feel as though... Do I want to ransack his room before we... I don't think it'll do any good. I'm just losing all ability to ask questions. What is going on around here? Albert just yelled at me. Kimmy is holding a large map. She looks a bit flustered. You seem very upset about my map. I was just planning my next birding trip. Well, if this map upsets him so much, I'll just get rid of it. No! Don't get rid of the map. No, don't do it! Kimmy tosses the map into the fireplace and sets it alight. Excuse me, Nancy. I'm going to the bathroom to calm down a bit. I just want to be alone, okay? Sure. Get map! Map's a little too hot to handle right now. Get poker. I poke through a pocket and poke. Get shovel. Put out fire. Ah! Hang on. Fill glass with water. It's not going to be enough. You fill the drinking glass with water from the tap. Fill a mug with water. See, do I need anything to put water in? Anything else? I mean, I don't have anything else that's going to work nicely. This might not be enough water. Put out fire. Pour mug on fire. You pour the water onto the burning map. Get map. You take the map out of the fireplace. The map is slightly charred and damp, but is still mostly intact. There is a circled location on the map. It's the Sioux Locks. What are the Sioux Locks? Why would Albert be upset by a map with the Sioux Locks circled? Note has been added to your notebook. Read map? Alright. Albert was upset about Kimmy's map with the Sioux Locks circled. What are the Sioux Locks? Break on unlock suitcase. No. Alright. Well, this is interesting. So I was gonna try to figure out what more things in here that the key might unlock. Pour glass into sink, because I need that to listen to people's conversations with. Dump the water out of the drinking glass. So much attention to detail. You can do so much of this here. All right, close the door. All right, let's do a little more searching now that we've rescued the map. Open wardrobe. Search wardrobe. Wardrobe contains a few garment bags and folded up pairs of overalls. Search bags. Look in bags. Look in garment bag. Look in overalls. Search clothes. Clothes. X clothes. X bags. Clothes wardrobe. Look at shelf. The bookshelf contains a variety of books on many subjects. Most of them are in French. Search books. Behind books. So we know it doesn't open that trunk. We tried. Look in vase. The vase is empty. Look frame. Look behind frame. Comfy window seat looks like it would be a nice place to do some reading. It's a little table. Simple, sturdy table. Okay. So in here, search. I need to know what things are called again. The boudoir transports you to fin de siècle in Paris. It's shiny, opulent, perhaps slightly tacky, and very, very pink. A mirrored vanity is the focal point of the room. Exotic perfumes hover in intensely localized clouds that you can almost see. Every movement stirs air currents that bring new scent to your nose. A doorway to the south leads to a walk-in closet, and a doorway to the north leads back into the master bedroom. Dresser. Vanity. It's lit with a pair of sconces. It has drawers on their left, right, and middle. There's nothing on the vanity. Open drawers. Vanity drawers are locked. Ah! Unlock drawer. You slide the small silver key into the vanity's lock. It fits perfectly. There it is. Use silver key to unlock Margot's vanity. Open vanity. Open the drawers. Look in drawers. Most of the drawers are full of various cosmetics meant for various parts of the face and don't interest you. But one drawer holds something worthy of closer inspection. You see a slim wooden box with a hinged lid and a smooth leather handle. Ooh! Type exit or click the exit button to stop your examination. Interesting! This is the inside of the vanity drawer. You can see a slim wooden kit. Wait a minute, is that our kit? The slim wooden kit has a shiny leather handle. Leather handle has been worn smooth with use. You think you see some faint oily marks on the smooth handle. Wooden box isn't a particularly fine make. It's rough and serviceable. Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, dust handle for prints. You apply some powder to the handle. Amazingly, the powdery soot reveals 2 fingerprints on the leather handle. I wonder if there are more fingerprints to be found. More? Dust kit for prints. Try opening the kit first. Well, hang on. Lift prints with tape. You tear off 2 pieces of tape and press each onto the powdered fingerprints. There's so much to look at here. You complete the collection of fingerprints of everyone in the lodge. You have 2 fingerprints you've obtained from the leather handle on the wooden kit. You've retrieved Evans and Ness's fingerprints from scattered documents on the floor of the study. Your extremely helpful collection of fingerprints, and obtained in some very interesting ways, too. Upon closer inspection and comparing with the set of fingerprints you've collected, you conclude, one of these fingerprints I lifted from the documents in the study belongs to Mr. Richards, which is as it should be, but the other fingerprint belongs to Nessa, which isn't surprising considering how she was pawing through these papers earlier. I'm glad I now have solid evidence of this. After taking a closer look at the fingerprints on the handle, you ascertain that one of the fingerprints belongs to Margot, the other to Jack. I found Jack's fingerprints on this kit. I should question Jack about this. And I suspect... Okay, I think this is the medical thing. I don't think this kit... This is not a... I mean, she didn't recognize the kit, so it's neither her nor Albert's field kit. But... bursting with curiosity, you open the slim wooden kit. A note has been added to your notebook. Yeah. Just other parts of the kit for prints. The kit contains a host of mysterious objects. Of particular interest are a pamphlet, a glass bottle, a metal box, and a small ampule. Pamphlet, bottle, box, ampule. You've revealed 2 fingerprints on the wooden kit's leather handle. Look. Oh, no. Words, they fall out of my head immediately. Pamphlet. The pamphlet is printed in tiny words on fine paper. The smooth onion skin center cover of the pamphlet seems to have a spot of oil on it. Aha, you reveal a fingerprint. I should take a closer look at this fingerprint. Tear off a piece of tape and press it onto the powdered fingerprint. Okay. Upon closer inspection, you discern that the fingerprint on the cover of the pamphlet belongs to Margot. Okay. Let's see. Glass bottle. The glass bottle contains a rubber tube that is attached to its neck. Oily marks on the surface of the glass bottle. The rubber tube surely performs an inexplicable medical purpose. Closer examination of the rubber tube fails to yield additional information. I think she had some kind of medical condition, and that's what this was for, and Jack was helping her with that. The pamphlet. He was talking about a pamphlet. That's the one. Okay. Dust bottle for prints. You have 2 prints on the bottle. Lift bottle prints. pieces of tape, press each onto the powdered fingerprints. I'm just going to compare all the prints at the end. Metal box, small ampule. Look, box. Metal box has a shiny lid. Shiny metal lid may have some oily smudges on it. Dust box for prints. Lift box prints. Okay. There was something. Hang on. Did I lift the jar print? No, never mind. Upon closer inspection, you discern that one of the fingerprints belongs to Margot, the other to Jack. Okay. Open box. You've never been good at opening these types of little metal boxes. After chipping a nail, you decide to leave it alone. Ah, great. I have a thing I can use. I have a pick. Can't do that. Nah. Ampule. The small ampule contains whitish yellow powder. It has a paper label. Read label. Paper label reads Salvarson 6 grams, single use, manufactured by W. Martindale. Wink Martindale? The game show host? Probably not. He probably wasn't around at this time. Salvarson. There's even smaller print near the bottom of the label that you can't quite make out. Small ampule is single-use glass vessel that prevents air from spoiling its contents. It has a paper label pasted to it. With the aid of your lucky loop, you can read the minuscule print. The compound contains arsenic! More arsenic. Administration in excess may lead to nausea, seizures, and death. Do not exceed appropriate dosage. My God. Arsenic, oh dear. Dust the ampule. Flips off the smooth glass surface. These ampules are single use, so it makes sense that it hasn't been touched yet. I'm pretty satisfied that I've dusted Margot's kit thoroughly for prints. A note. Wait, more notes. Oh God! Can I read the pamphlet? If I spell it right, maybe. The cover of the pamphlet reads, Ehrlich's Magical Bullet. Kit prepared by W. Martindale, chemist. So what do we have? Early dusted for fingerprints. Arsenic. Great sprinkled over peppered pork loin. Hi, Coltrane. Comparing what you've revealed, the fingerprints in your complete collection, you're able to conclude the following. The fingerprint from the cover of the pamphlet belongs to Margot. I discovered 2 fingerprints on the glass bottle in the kit. One is Margot's, the other belongs to Jack. The lid of the metal box in Margot's kit had 2 fingerprints on it. One is Jack's, the other is Margot's. There are 2 fingerprints on the handle of Margot's kit. Margot has touched it, and so has Jack. Aha, the fingerprint on the glass jar belongs to Nessa. And one of these fingerprints, paper from the study, belongs to Mr. Richards, the other to Nessa, which isn't surprising considering how she was pulling through these papers earlier. But I'm glad I now have solid evidence of this. Okay. I think that's everything, and unfortunately there's nothing in here that will help. Take box? This belongs to Margot. It would be wrong to take it. Alright. I think we're done with that. I should find Jack and ask him about Margot's kit. I found some white residue at the bottom of Margot's drinking glass. This jar I recovered from the river contains a wet strip of flypaper, and the label on the box of flypaper warns that it contains arsenic. Could this be how Margot was poisoned? I think I heard the automobile returning. Maybe I should visit the carriage house. We did that. Thoroughly dust Margot. I think we tried that. Or I could head to the lodge and see if Jack's there now. No, Jack's there. We saw him at the carriage house, along with the Mountie. Gorgeous dressing screen is decorated with a leaf motif. The size of the necklace's pendant leads you to believe it's made of glass. You'd never dream of potentially damaging such an important keepsake. Garnets have a Mohs hardness of 6.5 to 7.5. Unglazed porcelain has a Mohs hardness of 6 to 8. I can't risk it. Okay. Put poster. A dark-haired woman in a crimson dress kisses a middle-aged man with a comb-over at a dinner table. You're not sure what this Art Nouveau poster is advertising, as it's in French. Evidence that multiple people have touched the kit. Not much can be definitive. Well, yeah, the kit was, I'm pretty sure this was a medical kit that Jack was helping Margot use to deal with her skin condition, which I'm pretty sure is what the deal is there. Look behind poster. Look at stool. Stool has a nice, cushy, vividly pink velvet seat. Seat. Next stool. Look at chair. Armchair, a stool, and a chaise lounge. Oh, right, no, this stool, not that. Oh. The slinky pink chaise lounge lounges in the corner. Okay. Look out window. The window offers a breathtaking view of the dense forest below. It's dark outside. And there was nothing else I think I could... I tried so hard to find things in here, and I found nothing. It was the butler in the drawing room with the silver candlestick. Alas! There's not really a butler. There is a sort of housekeeper. Unfortunately, though, the murder that's been done thus far, we know who did it. Because we overheard her talking in the woods with her co-conspirator. Frisk the mannequin. That's a thought. Because there's supposed to be a brooch hidden in here. But I have searched this top to bottom and I just can't find it. And when I say there's supposed to be, I just mean that Margot told us that it was in here before she died. Footwear, frocks on hangers, elaborate hats. And it lets you take the hats down, each one, and examine them. A wardrobe with 2 chests of drawers are surely bursting with more finery. Then there are a lot of things that they animate in this game that aren't necessarily... Swap hat. No. Take hat. No, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same. It's all the same. Search frocks. The dresses are the latest style. They're finely made and very pretty. Look in frocks. And like it won't let me search the shoes. They're all size 5. That's all it lets me do. My shoes are usually half a size smaller than my boots to leave room for thicker socks. Feel in shoes. Feel in boots. Okay. Doesn't matter. It does, but it doesn't. No secret drawer in the stand-up dresser? Apparently not. There are just feather boas in here. It's a lovely wardrobe with a curved top. Full of feather boas in a rainbow of colors. Yeah, that's the one thing that's been. I mean, it's not that important, plot-wise. Especially now, since we found out that the person she took the brooch from killed her. Can't do that. Here, just put them back. These are French labels. Mannequin form is quite large. Perhaps it was once used in the store's display window. No. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay. Look behind mirror. Okay. All right. We gotta close this door. We found out where the key goes. That's the important thing. And now that we've done this, I think I can save over that safely. You said she was going to the bathroom. Should we look in on her and see how she is doing? Kimmy was. When I was in West Germany, I was surprised to discover houses and apartments normally did not have closets or walk-in closets. Instead, they had those standalone closet or wardrobe, typically called a Schrank. Same for not having ceiling light fixtures. It was all plugged-in floor lamps. Oh yeah. You knock lightly on the bathroom door. Please, I just want some peace and quiet. Yeah, I'm sure that's fine. Bathroom door is locked. Please leave me alone. Jimmy seems pretty upset. I should let her be. Okay. Why am I doing this? We're trying to be thorough. You hesitate to look in this window in case you see something you shouldn't. That's the bathroom. I know. I want to make sure she's not doing anything suspicious. Okay. Doesn't matter. Want to make sure she's not doing anything suspicious or trying to do anything to harm herself or anything like that. I don't think she will necessarily, but it's all strange. It's all very strange. Okay, everything in here is the same as it was. Playing Wordle on her cell phone. Would that those existed back in the day? Yeah, it could be though. One never knows. Don't know why I'm looking in here again. Just in case anything is different and I need to figure anything out, I guess. It's paranoia. Not hearing anything. It's because there's nothing in here that we need right now. Not that I can think of. Okay, this all looks the same. Now we will not go to the dining room yet. Now we already searched the office as best we could. The glass-paned cabinet is full of curios and memorabilia, old tarnished trophies, and an assortment of glass and ceramic vases, or vases, depending on which side of the room you're standing. We have no stone or door. Unopened, yes. Oh, there's Nathan. The conservatory is a stunning showpiece of a room. Surely the expense and trouble to bring this many panes of glass this far north must have been enormous. There's a doorway in the south wall that leads back into the main floor hallway. Nathan is here. Yes. Ask Nathan about Evan. I've never seen him like this. Please look out for him. When Evan was a boy, he'd sit out on the jetty when he was upset. Maybe he's out there now. He is. I hesitate to do this. I'm sure he looks forward to being left alone again. Jack's back from the train station. He's in the kitchen having a cup of tea. I know. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to ask you about here. I think we're good for now. But, you know, wait a minute. She does like birds, doesn't she? Someone was suspicious of Kimmy. One of them was. Who was it? There was something. Albert was suspicious of Kimmy. Okay. And that just came full circle here. Okay. Guess we'll talk to Jack. Jack is having a relaxing cup of tea in the kitchen. How are you doing, Jack? I'm exhausted, Nancy. Just got back from the train station, picked up a ranger, and brought him to the lodge to have a look at Margot. This has been a very long day, and it's not over yet. Ranger Murdoch wants to meet all of us in the dining room, so run along now. Will do. First, though, I need to ask you... Hello, Jack. Hi, Nancy. There's a meeting in the dining room. Go on in. Just a second. I need to ask you about a couple of things. She likes birds even more than I do. No. I can't believe she's gone. What do you think happened to her? Jack shifts uncomfortably and seems reluctant to meet your gaze. I think we should let it be, Nancy. Evan is in a bad way right now. We should give him peace and not interfere. All right, we're going to ask you about the kit. I found a strange kit in Margot's vanity. Do you know anything about that? It was full of interesting things. A kit? I don't know anything about that. I found your fingerprints on this kit, Jack. Do you have something to do with Margot's death? No, Margot had a medical condition, and I helped her take her medicine. But I never asked her what was in it. The writing on the labels are tiny. My eyes are bad. I couldn't read them and didn't try. I know. You know? You heard us? Jack goes red. Yes, once. I didn't mean to. That probably sounded really suspicious. But Nancy, we were friends and friends only. Do you think our treatments killed her? We were always so careful. Was it dangerous or poisonous? The tiny paper label on the ampule says that it contains arsenic. It's pretty deadly stuff. I didn't find your fingerprints on anything in the kit that warned about arsenic, though. So I think it's possible you didn't know that Margot's medicine could be poisonous if an incorrect dose was given. I didn't, I swear. The little glass ampules are single use. We couldn't have used too much. I didn't find any fingerprints at all on the ampules, which supports your claim that they were used once and then discarded. I think I may believe you, Jack. While it looks like Margot was getting regular doses of arsenical compounds, it doesn't appear her death was caused by an accidental overdose or intentional poisoning with her kit. I wonder what could have happened. It's in her glass! It's in her drinking glass! Look, Nancy, Margot and me were friends. I never meant her any harm. The doses had to be injected, which she couldn't do by herself. They were extremely painful, too. Why don't you investigate people who didn't like Margot? Nessa, for instance. It's no secret those two didn't get along. Jack may be onto something there. Yeah, I mean, we heard her say she did it. That's not a bad idea, Jack. Thanks. Jack, did you kill Margot? No! Proceeds to stab Nancy and dump her body in the river. Go on, then. Nessa has been up to some suspicious activity, actually. A note has been added to your notebook. I saw her pouring liquid out of a silver flask in the orchard, and she was having a furtive conversation with Corvus. They didn't want me to hear it, but I managed. Nessa dumped a bunch of jars over the waterfall to the east. I found Nessa's fingerprint on the jar, so she can't deny it. You don't say. I found some white residue at the bottom of Margot's drinking glass. It could be mineral deposits, or it could be something more lethal. I see. That does happen from time to time, and I haven't washed Margot's glass in a while. Why not? We should keep this to ourselves for now. Can't risk raising a ruckus and upsetting Mr. Richards for no good reason. I don't know. So Margot would have blackened bones and receding gums. Oh, okay. Talk to the ranger privately about this after the meeting. Will do, Jack. Maybe you can grab a box and examine it yourself? I think I saw a box of flypaper in the shed. Oh. See, because I treated this like an adventure game, I went ahead and I tried not to treat it like an adventure game and just go through natural flow of events, but I couldn't help myself at one point, and I started picking up everything I could. And that box of flypaper was one of those things. I just wonder if small amounts over time would stack until it killed her naturally. I don't know. Well, that's the problem, you see. I have the flypaper, and it has arsenic. Let's see. Get flypaper box. I have the flypaper box. If Nessa was a nicer person, I'd say the theft of her brooch was a real shame. No. Jack, the box of flypaper is empty. I could have sworn that was a fresh box of the stuff. Well, I'm a busy man. Must slip my mind. Looks like we're out. Maybe I should ask Jack about the flypaper in the jar that I found. We did that already! Oh yeah, that's one of my jam jars for sure. I'd know it anywhere. Why is there flypaper inside? Where'd all the jam go? Did you eat it all? No, I found it by the eastern waterfall, caught up in the rocks. So I was right. Some of my jam jars have gone missing. Who on earth is throwing them away like that? I found Nessa's fingerprint on the outside of the jar. I think she was soaking flypaper in this jar to extract the poison from the flypaper. Arsenic, to be exact. Arsenic? Yes, says so right on the box. Kills flies dead. Okay, greetings. We're still back with the Crimson Diamond, and we're going through command loops until we can get where we need to go. I saw Nessa pouring out a silver flask out in the orchard after Margot died. She said she didn't need it anymore. I bet that's where she stored the extracted poison. After the last of the water in Margot's drinking glass evaporated, a white powdery residue remained. I'm almost certain if it was tested in a lab, it would be confirmed as arsenic. Cyanide is safer in that regard, as the body will flush cyanide from itself, unlike arsenic. Heavy metal poisoning. Yeah. I just brought Ranger Murdoch back to the lodge. Just so happens he was in the area. You should tell him about this. Will do, Jack. Another note. Tell Ranger about your investigation. Okay. So, I'm going to do that. Should I save over this? Should I? Body can't get rid of it naturally. But something someone said has compelled me to want to look at the body again. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but we'll see. If you think of the poor woman that got radiation poisoning from painting watch dials with radium. Yeah, yeah. Determinedly decide to take a closer look at Margot's body. And having drawn closer to her mouth to get a closer look, you do detect an unusual odor emanating from it. Can't use gums in this game. Sorry, folks. After the examination of the inside of Margot's mouth and throat reveals she didn't choke to death. Her tongue isn't swollen, and as far as you can tell, there's nothing lodged in her windpipe. By the way, content warning, dead body. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Good thing that chat knows so much about poisons. Odd that. Yes, yes. Whistles and stares up at the ceiling. Yeah. The radium girls. You can't use teeth in this game. See, I remember the radium thing from watching an actual play that Lindy ran of Call of Cthulhu a while back. Which might be where some of us know this from. I don't think there's really anything else we can get from this directly. But anyway, I mean, I could just go directly back into the dining room, but let's do this. We learned toxicology as well as pharmacology in pharmacy school. Yeah. I think all that's left now is to go. Let me review real quick. Nancy, I think we're just about ready to get this meeting started. Why don't you head on into the dining room? Sure thing. Jeez. Okay, fine. See ya in there. Good Lord. Jack's called us all to the dining room. That would probably be a good place to go next. Though a form of arsenic is used to treat a specific kind of leukemia. This is what I was referring to. I'm not sure Julia, the author of the game, knows the signs of arsenic poisoning. Maybe, yeah, hard to say. Well, they didn't get specific. It didn't get specific about it. Just, it talks about the skin getting bluer, I think, but, or the skin getting paler. But it doesn't really give us, it doesn't give us that in extreme detail. I mean, we're already here. Let's see. I guess we'll go in here. Yeah, that's all we have under reviewing. Okay. Well, almost everyone's in the dining room already. Hopefully after this meeting, I'll have a chance to tell the ranger about my investigation into Margot's murder. Ah, Nancy, there you are. We're about to get started. Well, Nessa is here. A note has been added to my notebook. All right, here we go. Is this everyone who's currently alive? Everyone but Evan, who is out at the jetty. Where's Mr. Richards? He's at the jetty! You found him there. Never mind. Don't worry, miss. Mr. Richards needs time to be alone with his thoughts. He'll probably be here in a bit. I should have told him about Evan. This here's Ranger Murdoch. He was out on patrol by the train station, lucky for us. I told him about poor Margot. He said he wouldn't mind stopping by and filing a report. A report? Whatever for? She had a fit and died. Bury her and be done with it. It gives me the creeps having a dead body around. I am sure nothing's amiss, but how could I turn down Jack's hospitality? They're talking about heavy metals in the chat. And chemicals of various types. But let's see. Let's see. I'll take a look, file a report of the death, and save old Doc Travers a trip up here. What about the bridge explosion? Do you have any news about that? Bridge explosion? News doesn't travel very fast in these parts. I'm out in the bush most of the time. Of course. I was so distracted by Margot's death that I completely forgot to mention the bridge to Ranger Murdoch. Anyway, I sent a telegraph to the closest town. I'm sure the appropriate authorities are handling it. I'm sure. Bears and raccoons are more my jurisdiction. Not much happens out this way. Tomorrow morning, I'll take a look at Miss Margot and be on my way. Oh, more time for people to die! Nitroglycerin breaks down pretty quickly. Sounds good. My, it's late. You must be bushed. I'll get you set up in the spare room upstairs. Are we done here? I'm dreadfully tired. I am tired as well. Nessa and Corvus leave the table after exchanging what seems to be a series of impatient looks. Kimmy follows soon after, seemingly unwilling to appear rude by leaving first. By the time Jack shows the ranger to the spare room, you realize a lot of time has passed, and Mr. Richards still hasn't turned up. I should check up on Mr. Richards. Note, the text parser shortcut to refer to Ranger Murdoch is RR. Interesting. Outstanding, fantastic. Chapter 4 complete. I got a got an achievement. Fantastic detective work, Nancy. You're a natural. Okay, good. Good. I think that means that we found everything. It was just ingested activated charcoal would work. Chelating agents after they get into the system. Nessa, given the state of your body, I would think you'd be fine with having it. Oh, God. Let's not be mean. We must not shame people. Granted, she did murder someone, but still. Somebody will die in bed due to inhaling a pillow. I think we're going to find Evan's dead body down at the jetty. But, oh no, where's Mr. Richards? Okay, we didn't find his dead body down at the jetty. It's probably been pushed into the river. Chapter 5, Escalations. We were shocked to see such disarray. Oh, I don't like the look of this. Type review to check the status of your Evan investigation. Game has automatically been saved. Whew, okay, so let me see. We've been doing this a couple of hours. I could go a little bit longer. But I will probably want to stop at some point so that I can, like, exist as a human at some point tonight. And just sort of be out of it. But let me go ahead and do this now. I have a couple of things I need to do before bed, but I've still got a little time. So let's see. So you filled all your save slots, but that was saved automatically, so we're good. Going to delete my mad experiments. Okay. There's a jetty here overlooking the rushing river. Cattails line the riverbed, and there's a rotting log lying on its side. A dirt path leads north into the forest, west leads to the bridge, and east to the waterfall. I'm going to go to the waterfall in a moment. There appears to have been an altercation here. There are scuff marks and what might be a shoe print on the jetty. Here we go. You can see puddles of liquid. An overturned drinking glass, and what looks to be the crystal decanter, broken into jagged shards. Oh dear. It's a long weekend, so we've surely got time for several more murders, right? Yes. While there are some splashes of liquid on the jetty, they don't appear to be water from the river. Thanks, look at all this broken glass. I can also see some scuffs and a wet shoe print. Okay. We know what the liquid is, but we'll go ahead and look at it again. Liquid here has yet to be absorbed into the dock. Even in the moonlight, you can tell that it's golden yellow and that it's whiskey. What a waste. Liquid on the jetty is definitely alcohol and not river water. Yeah. Yeah. Part of the thing though is I know it's a long weekend, but I have a stream I need to send. I need to send someone some notes about a stream that's happening tomorrow night. Pillow-induced pneumonia has a high morbidity rate. Yes. Not the demon decanter of eternal alcohol. I know. It's sad. It's sad. Mr. Richards was here not that long ago. If he'd drunkenly fallen into the river, I'd expect to see watermarks on the jetty where his impact caused splashes. Besides the spilled alcohol, the jetty is dry. Okay. Okay, interesting. The scuff marks indicate that someone might have been dragged along the wooden boards of the jetty. These scuffs are pretty clear. Hopefully a closer examination will reveal more information. Yes. The direction of the scuff marks appear to lead away from the jetty and into the woods to the north. Oh boy. And these scuff marks were made by rubber-soled shoes. I know where we found those before. Note has been added to your notebook. Mr. Richards wore rubber-soled shoes and boots. These scuffs were likely made by him. He definitely didn't jump or fall into this fierce current. It's more likely that Mr. Richards was dragged away from the river. Oh, I'd better be careful and not stray too close to the edge of the jetty. If we do, then it will mean death. Broken glass scattered across the jetty. Some of it looks like it may have once been the crystal decanter. Some may have come from a drinking glass. Okay. Mr. Richards wears a size 12. This shoe print looks larger, but I should examine it more closely to verify. Good, good. See, you get to a point. Upon closer inspection, you ascertain the shoe print came from a size 14 foot. I think that's Corvus. No more Lords of Gossamer and Shadow Schemes? Maybe. Mr. Richards got dragged away by a bear. Only bears wear size 14 shoes. You're right. Mr. Richards wears a size 12. He definitely didn't make shoe prints on or around the jetty. I'm so glad I looked at everyone's shoes earlier. The shoe prints on the jetty came from a size 14 feet. Jack's size are 12 feet. I know Jack didn't make those shoe prints, but who did? I know Nessa wears a size 8, but I need to rule out all the other guests before I can make a definitive conclusion. Where have I seen Kimmy walking around outside? Could she have left some shoe prints on moist ground? Corvus wears size 14. He could be involved, but I can't say for certain until I learned everyone else's shoe sizes. Albert and Mr. Richards have the same shoe size. Neither of them could have made any of these shoe prints. I'm going to go around collecting a bunch of shoe prints now. Nathan could have made these shoe prints. I certainly can't rule him out. Have I seen Nathan walking in an area where he could have left shoe prints? I think so, and not too long ago. Type size check to review whose shoe sizes you still need to learn. Wow. I do love how thorough they are about this. Let's see. Bears love... they have some interest. Yeah. Nancy has a foot. No, that was my fault. I went around looking. Okay, look, I did the adventure game thing. I looked in every nook and cranny of that of the house of the lodge, and I found boots and I found people's shoes in their room, and I looked at them and I examined them and I found these things out. That's all it was. I was practicing to open a footlocker. There are footlockers in the house I would like to be able to open, I'll tell you that. Anyway, let's see. Decanter. You see fragments of faceted glass scattered on the wooden jetty. Yikes, whatever happened here, it doesn't look like it was a serene encounter. Yeah. The glass has been knocked over. Its contents spilled out onto the jetty. What a waste of good Canadian whiskey. You think you can see an oily mark on the outside of the overturned whiskey glass? That could be a fingerprint. Ah, yeah. And the decanter? You peer at the shattered remains of what is clearly the crystal decanter from the dining room. I last saw this in Mr. Richards' hands as he was seated right here on this jetty. What on earth happened here? Oh my, the decanter would have needed to be picked up and thrown down with some force to break it like this. The heavy crystal decanter has been broken into dozens of jagged shards. I think I see some oily imprints. I wonder who's been handling this decanter recently. Besides Mr. Richards, that is, because I doubt he would have broken the decanter intentionally. We need to see if there are traces of almonds around anywhere. Oh, I'd better be careful and not stray too close to the edge of the jetty. The temptation. Better to look at everything than not and miss something critical. Yeah, that's my philosophy with this. Okay, so dust glass. You carefully dust the overturned drinking glass for prints and reveal, aha, a fingerprint. Okay. Lift glass print. Lift print. Grab a piece of tape and press it on the powdered fingerprint. But I can find out right now. Upon closer examination of the fingerprint you obtained from the overturned drinking glass, you conclude that this is Evan's fingerprint. That makes sense. I did see Mr. Richards drinking out of this glass earlier. Note has been added. Dust decanter. You carefully dust the crystal decanter fragments to reveal 2 fingerprints. All right. Lift prints. Just so that I have them on record. But you appear at the shattered remains of what is clearly the crystal decanter from the dining room. I saw this in Mr. Richards' hands. He was seated here on the jetty. What happened here? Decanter needed to be picked up and thrown with force. 2 fingerprints have been revealed on the remnants of the decanter. You've revealed Evans and Nessa's fingerprints on the crystal decanter fragments. It was Nessa. Nessa appears to be doing all of these things. Nessa and Corvus. That's what they were talking about. Okay. Can I get the decanter? The crystal decanter has been shattered into jagged fragments. It's not safe for you to handle. Besides, as a potential crime scene, I really ought not remove any evidence. Yeah. I need to... It was almonds, I tell you. Shouldn't tamper with anything that could be evidence. At least not too much. Okay. Tell Ranger Murdoch about your investigation. We examined the scuffs. The review. Mr. Richards didn't fall from the jetty into the river. Examined the scuffs. We did that. Evan was dragged away from the jetty. Examined the shoe prints on the jetty. We did that. Margot size 5'5", Nessa size 8, Evan size 12. The shoe print is size 14 and doesn't belong to Evan. Jack size 12, Corvus size 14, Albert size 12. Learn the shoe sizes of everyone else in the lodge. Type size check to see whose shoe sizes you need to discover. I'm glad they put that in there. Examine broken decanter shards on the jetty. Powder the drinking glass for fingerprints. Examine the decanter. Powder the decanter for fingerprints. Revealed fingerprints of glass jetty. That's the jetty. 7 fingerprints of drinking glass. Evan's print on the drinking glass. Revealed fingerprints on the decanter. Examine those. Nessa's fingerprints found at the jetty incident on the broken decanter. Shards. Okay. Just to make sure and compare prints. This is the same we had before. And those are the documents. And I guess we got Nessa's shoe size from from those documents. Okay, good. Nessa and Corvus, presumably, since Nessa wears a size 8 and Corvus a size 14. Yeah. I think that was really it. We'll delete one of these ahs. So, I mean, I imagine they could have just hidden his body in one of the canoes, but we'll go ahead and follow this. Uh-oh. You see some possible signs of a struggle. There are scuffs and shoe prints in the grass and on the path, and some tree branches have been snapped off. Ooh. More crime scene. Okay. You're now deeper in the forest. Luckily, there's a path to guide your way. Looking north, you can see the lodge. East is the smokehouse. West is the scenic overview of the lodge, and south is the jetty. You see little puddles of liquid haphazardly scattered along the path here lit by the moon. The more you look at the scene, the more convinced you become that whatever happened at the jetty continued in this part of the woods. You see scuffs and shoe prints in the grass and on the path to the south and east. You can also see some freshly broken branches. And I like the look of this. Okay, so... Well, puddles seem to lead further south. We've already done this on this screen, but we'll do it again. The puddles of whiskey are staggered at irregular intervals, both on and off the path, almost as if whoever was responsible for them was also staggering. This doesn't bode well. Look at the scuffs. There are scuffs and scrapes on the path to the east and south. There are two places I saw Kimmy standing. I'm going to check here, but I need to look for shoe prints before I complete what I'm doing here, I think. There are multiple scuffs to examine. Upon closer examination of the scuffs on the southern path, you conclude that someone was dragged from the jetty and into this area. And it was a bit of a struggle by the looks of it. I found scuff marks made by rubber-soled shoes on the jetty. Mr. Richards only wears rubber-soled shoes and boots and was last seen here. I think it's fair to assume he made those scuff marks. And the scuff marks found here look like they were also made by Mr. Richards, making the same struggling movements. It seems pretty clear that Mr. Richards was dragged from the jetty and into these woods. Note has been added. The scrapes in the grass are deep, as if someone was literally digging their heels in to resist an outside force. The scuffs and scrapes are definitely leading away from this part of the forest and down the eastern path. I'm pretty sure I found scuff marks made by Mr. Richards' rubber-soled shoes on the jetty. These look like they were made by similar actions and by the same person. I don't think it's unreasonable for me to believe that Mr. Richards was dragged from the jetty and through these woods. I feel like there are things I need to do before I find Mr. Richards. Okay, that just brings us back to the same one. Down the forest and the eastern path. Okay. Okay. Branches stick out like arms, ready to cling and scratch at unwary passers-by. Luckily, the paths are kept pretty clear of any obstructions. Some of the branches off to the side of the path look like they've been bent and broken. I mean, I was just going here because of this, but... Yeah, there we go. You can clearly see some long brown and gray hairs caught in the tree branches. Long brown and gray hairs, these look familiar. I imagine that's Corvus. A lot of the hairs have their follicles intact. I'd say that some of these hairs were caught and pulled out with some force. Long brown and gray hair, only Nessa has hair like that. Oh. I should take a closer look at these scuffs. I already did that. Should we take hair? You take some of the long brown and gray hairs. These might be useful bits of evidence. Long gray and brown hairs you found caught on the broken branches of a tree. Long gray and brown hairs still have their follicles, indicating they were removed with some force. I found these caught on some broken branches. It looked like there was a struggle in the woods. Only Nessa has hair like this. I should take a closer look at these scuffs. I did, but I'll do it again. But it's probably just going to cycle through the same stuff. Yes, okay. Now, a couple things I want to do. I'm pleased with the fingerprints I found at the jetty. Although I didn't see Nessa there, her fingerprints on the broken crystal decanter suggests otherwise. Can I place anyone else at the jetty? I'll need everyone's shoe sizes before I can figure that out. Right. Okay. Did you see a path in this part of the forest? You can walk any of the cardinal directions, but the western way is less traveled. There are some strange puddles of liquid glistening in the moonlight. On the southern and eastern portions of the path, you can see some scrapes and shoe prints in the grass. Okay. There are a couple of spots by the river. We need to, because that's where it's most likely to. I'm going to go back here for a bit. Liquid is splashed haphazardly on the jetty and path leading up to it. Of course, the liquid appears to be Mr. Richards. Uh-oh. I'm just trying to figure out Oh, right, it was here. Nathan and Jack have left shoe prints all along the riverbank. There we go. Even in the moonlight, it is easy for you to see the imprints Nathan and Jack made with their shoes. The shoe prints on this side of the bridge are quite large and freshly made. Considering I witnessed Nathan making these shoe prints, I can conclude he wears size 16. There we go. And of course, Jack was walking quite extensively on this part of the riverbank. The shoe prints are size 12. Okay. There's so much. And the other, we just need Kimmy's shoe size. And I do know somewhere she was standing. Trample on all that evidence. Yes. Here we go. There's a clearing here with a carpet of bright green grass. Down by the river, the constant spray of the waterfall has dampened the earth. Muddy patches gather between the slippery rocks. I shouldn't get too close to the river. It looks deep and dangerous. In Kimmy's excitement, she strayed quite close to the riverbank, leaving behind a set of shoe prints in the softened earth. There we go. There's a steep cliff here with a rather scenic waterfall flowing from hidden crevices. The cliff face hosts a thriving colony of what you assume are double-crested cormorants. They clearly enjoy nesting here. You can see the boathouse east of here and the faintest indication of the carriage house to the north. You can see some shoe prints by the riverbank. The double-crested cormorant is distinctively large with a swan-like neck, webbed feet, and a bright orange beak. Hello, cormorants. Cormorant sounds. Yay! Okay. You can clearly see the shoe prints Kimmy left behind when she strayed close to the river while looking for ducks. Phew, I'm glad she didn't slip on those rocks. I would have felt terrible. Yes, we were the reason why she was looking for ducks, because we have a duck call we needed to use to get her away from here so we could take a rock sample. Let's look here. Upon closer inspection of Kimmy's shoe prints, you conclude that she wears a size 6 or 6.5. Ah! Now that I know Kimmy's shoe size, the women's shoe print I saw in the study must belong to Nessa. So Nessa wears a size 8. Got it. Fantastic, I've gotten everyone's shoe sizes. That should come in handy. Corvus wears a size 14. He was involved in the altercation at the jetty. I think I figured out a few things. Yes? Mr. Richards didn't drunkenly wander off into the woods, slip and fall off the jetty into the water, or drown himself. He was dragged into the woods, most likely by Corvus. I think further investigation around the smokehouse is in order. It is. It would probably be a good idea to investigate other areas adjacent to the jetty, which we kind of. Oh, I'd better be careful and not stray too close to the edge of the river. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Completed jetty investigation. Orifice's shoe size matches the shoe prints at the jetty incident. Size check. Fantastic. I've gotten everyone's shoe sizes. That should come in handy, and I'm satisfied with my investigations at the scenes of Mr. Richards' mysterious disappearance. Okay. So we have that. I feel like I should try to talk to the Mountie before he goes to bed. Because I still have that note to talk to Ranger Murdoch about your investigation. So I kind of want to do that. They've set him up in the spare because I don't want him to be asleep by the time everything else happens. And so the spare room is, yes, second floor. Spare room does not have a bed in it, but, you know, we'll see. Okay. You can see into the spare room. Nothing there. Okay. No sounds of conversation. Hey there, Nancy. Full house, isn't it? Oh, he's making the little sofa into a bed. If you're looking for the Ranger, he should be in the bathroom across the hall, freshening up. Yes, okay. Did I need to ask Jack about anything else? Yeah, or mysteriously dead. Yes, that's also an option. Ah, lungs. Oh, you mean Ranger Murdoch? He went off looking for the bathroom, I think. Is that also? Yeah, that is Ranger Dan. Okay. You get no response. I know I'm probably going to get the same thing here. Yeah, I hesitate to look in. That's the bathroom. Yes, okay, fine. Fine. Jack said Ranger Murdoch would be in here. I wonder where he could be. I'm very concerned. Bathtub is empty. Pink shower curtain encircles the tub and hangs from a polished brass rail. There's a small rectangular rug in front of the bathtub, presumably to prevent wet feet from leaving marks on the wooden floor. There's also an even smaller rug in front of the toilet. You assume it's to keep feet warm during longer engagements with the porcelain. Under mat. Okay, all right. Well, let's... Faint noises coming from the closet. Sounds like someone's in there. You definitely hear someone or something in the upstairs closet. Okay, I guess we can just go in there. Oh, pardon me. You stumbled upon the ranger rummaging in the closet. A note has been added to your notebook. Ranger Murdoch, what are you doing in here? Oh, Miss Maple, is it? You certainly gave me a start. Jack directed me to the bathroom, but I don't seem to be in the right place. No. I'm used to being out in the wilderness, but a bucket doesn't seem to be that appropriate as a bathroom, eh? Ah, the bathroom is across the hall from the spare room. Oh, I thought Jack said across from the stairs. My mistake, excuse me. Oh no! The blue trunk is a bit battered. It looks like it has survived an overseas voyage or two. The blue trunk is locked. You try the silver key in the blue trunk's padlock. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit. The blue trunk has a big padlock on it that requires a key, which you don't have. Jack has the key. We know this. At least, yeah, to the blue one, not to the green one. Oh. Oh, listen, Ranger, not here. Ranger here. Ranger not here. I think he went off looking for the bathroom, I think. No, he's not there. This is Nessa's room. Again, I can't think of any reason to keep searching it right now, aside from the usual. Your voice is near this doorway. I wonder what they're talking about. Okay. With the help of the drinking glass, you can hear a conversation behind Albert's bedroom door. And what government agency did you say sent you, Mr. Espa? Your government sent me. The specific name of the agency escapes me. Here, I have the documents. I trust they're in order. Really? Ah, thank you. Let's see. Yes, those look just fine. Of course they do. May I see your identification papers? There's a pause in the conversation. Even with the aid of the drinking glass, you strain to hear what comes next. See here, officer. I'm a very busy man. I don't have time to root about in my documents to produce my identification papers at the moment. I am here because my government is doing a favor to your government, yes? Strong international relationships are vital, especially in the times to come. Doubtless you are aware of the current state of world affairs? I am. So if I were you, I'd take a step back and turn your attention to the dead woman in the cellar. Which is, after all, the reason you are here. Of course. Have a good evening to you, Mr. Espa. So much for Canadian hospitality. A note has been added to your notebook. Ah! Oh, Miss Maple, good evening. Good evening. Will you please tell them about your investigation? I don't know. Tell Ranger Murdoch about your investigation. Working on it. The Ranger has taken an interest in Albert. Ranger Murdoch was trying to get into the blue trunk. Are you in here now? Feel like, should I save over it? Oh, it gets dangerous. There's fewer and fewer things. Oh, pardon me. Good evening, Miss Maple. I'm just getting settled in for the night. Okay. Here's my chance to tell an officer of the law about what happened to Margot. I should tell Ranger Murdoch about my investigation. Margot's illness and death seem quite suspicious. I should tell him about that. Good evening, Ranger Murdoch. How are you settling in? Oh, hello, Miss Maple. I'm settling in well. I had no idea there were so many folks at the lodge tonight. Yes. Oh, it's all the same. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm actually glad that I'm doing this now because I don't know if I'll have a chance after I find Evan. Jack's a fine fellow. I'm sure he could use more help around here. I feel the same way about my line of work. About my line of work. Rangers have to watch over large regions. Fortunately, places like Crimson are pretty quiet. Usually, anyway. I was passing by this way. Glad I can be of some assistance. Jack's a fine fellow. I'm sure he could use more help around here. No, we already asked about that. I'm going to ask about the frickin' truck. I'm afraid I can't help you with that, Miss Maple. Ask about... I'll examine Margot's body tomorrow morning. According to Jack, she had some health issues which probably contributed to her death. I'll be filling out a death certificate and notifying her next of kin, although Jack told me that she doesn't really have any. Do I have anything helpful to tell Ranger Murdoch about Margot's death? Or my investigation into it? No, I'm sure everything's fine. Mrs. Crab? She was asking me about the theft of a brooch of hers. I'm afraid I can't help her. I have bigger fish to fry. I think she's looking for her brooch now, actually. I've been hearing rummaging around and voices in the rooms down the hall. Well, yeah, I know where it's supposed to be, but I haven't been able to find it either. Mrs. Ruby brooch has gone missing. It's probably pretty valuable. I don't doubt it, Miss Maple. Perhaps Mrs. Crab will file a police report. It's a good thing if there are too many people in the lodge that we can reduce that number. It's significantly more difficult to find more guests. Yes. Sooner or later. Just need to ask about everyone. I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the reservations in this area, Miss Maple. I don't know the Cardinal family. Can you help me look for Mr. Richards? I think something terrible has happened to him. I think he's gone missing. How long has he been missing? Maybe half an hour? I think it's a bit too early to determine if he's gone missing, Miss Maple. Perhaps he's gone for an evening stroll. Well... Yes, clearly that's it. Mr. Shaw, the lawyer? I'm hoping he'll be able to help me write up a death certificate for Margot. Oh, God. No, he's in on it. Let's see. Ask about... Kimmy? I've only just met her, but she seems like a pleasant woman. Ask about... Is that everyone? Albert? What can you tell me about him, seeing as you're better acquainted? Mr. Espa is a Belgian from Antwerp specifically. He was hired by the Canadian government to investigate the diamond claim here in Crimson. He smokes cigars and likes brandy. He spends most of his time in his bedroom writing up mineralogical reports. Sometimes he locks the door. I actually think that his bedroom door is the only bedroom door in the lodge that locks. He must really value his privacy. He wears a size 12 shoe. They're very shiny and fancy, which seems unusual for a mineralogist who is out in the field. When he was performing his field work yesterday, he seemed fixated on a glacial erratic, but the glacial erratic wouldn't be indicative of the geology of this area. He got upset when I asked him about this. I found that a little unusual. He has loads of heavy luggage shipped to the lodge. There's so much of heavy luggage shipped to the lodge ahead of his arrival, but I've never seen him use any of the stuff packed inside. I wonder what they contain. Very interesting and very well observed. Thank you, Miss Maple. Happy to help. Can we tell him about my field kit? My field kit went missing on my train ride to Crimson. Do you have any idea where it could be? I'm afraid not, Miss Maple. I suppose it could have ended up in a train station's lost and found, but that's a long shot. Yeah, Albert's field kit. Okay. About kit. Ask about. Let's see. I think that's everyone. Unless I'm missing somebody. Okay. I think we'll talk about our investigation now. Should we? Should we? Ranger Murdoch, I'd like to discuss my investigation with you. Your investigation? Yes, into Margot's suspicious death. I know that the flypaper here at the lodge contains arsenic. If Margot was poisoned, the killer could have somehow used the flypaper I found. I found some white powdery residue in the bottom of Margot's drinking glass. Earlier this evening, I saw Nessa bring Margot a jug of water and a glass. It would have been the perfect opportunity for Nessa to poison her. I should tell Ranger Murdoch about Margot's illness. Okay. So about illness. You tell Ranger Murdoch what you've discovered so far. I've examined Margot's body and made some interesting observations about the state of her health before her death. It's fairly unusual that Margot would have this type of skin lesion. They don't look like bug bites or anything else I can easily identify. Interesting. What about Margot's hair? I don't think allergies would account for the poor condition of Margot's hair. It's brittle and seems to be falling out, creating thinning and balding areas on her scalp. But I'm no doctor. Maybe taking some of her hair to a laboratory for analysis would be fruitful. Margot suffered from aches and pains that had gotten more acute recently. That would be suspicious. Very well observed, Miss Maple. You would do well as a detective. Thanks. Your findings are very helpful. I'll collect my own evidence and make my own inquiries. Thank you very much. You can leave this with me now. You're welcome. I'm happy to help. Hey, we've got more notes. Successfully investigated and reported Margot's death. Told Ranger about your investigation into Margot's death. Successfully examined Margot's body. We did that already a while ago. Tell about... Let's just talk about people. When I first met Nessa, she was a bit standoffish, but having spent a bit more time with her, I think she's pretty mean. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Last time I saw Mr. Richards, he was drunk and sitting out on the jetty. Now he's gone. I think something bad could have happened to him. I see. Was the jetty wet? I don't think so. He probably didn't fall into the river then. He's probably somewhere on the grounds, walking off the alcohol. Mr. Richards has had a difficult evening and probably wants to be alone right now. Anything else we can... No, thank you, Miss Maple. All right. Mrs. Ruby Roach has gone missing. No, that's not the box. The flypaper in the lodge contains arsenic. Most flypaper does, Nancy. It's a very effective poison. Tell about the jam jar I found. I found this jar floating in the water by the waterfall. It looks like someone was trying to dispose of it, but got caught in the rocks. There's a white residue and a strip of damp flypaper inside. White residue? Maybe it's dried soap. I don't think so. This flypaper's got arsenic in it. I think the residue is actually arsenic. I believe someone was soaking the flypaper in water to extract the arsenic. Who would do such a thing? I witnessed Nessa pouring the contents of her silver flask out onto the grass. She could have used that flask to store water that has been adulterated with arsenic. I found Nessa's fingerprint on the outside of the jar. She definitely touched it. Why would Nessa do such a thing? I think Nessa poisoned Margot. She was afraid her brother would bequeath the lodge and lands to Margot and not to her. I see. That's a very serious allegation. Do you have anything else to tell me about your investigation? Tell Ranger about investigation to share what you've learned so far. We did that already. I found white powdery residue in Margot's drinking glass. I think it's arsenic. The white residue in the jam jar looks exactly the same. I'm pretty sure Nessa was slipping arsenic into Margot's pitcher of drinking water. You may be onto something here, Nancy. Oh, there's so many things. I think we're good, but according to my findings, Evan was dragged away from the jetty. He didn't wander off, and he didn't fall into the river, nor did he jump in. Corvus was involved somehow, and so was Nessa. I'm pleased with the fingerprints I found at the jetty, although I didn't see Nessa there. Her fingerprint on the broken crystal decanter suggests otherwise. I'm satisfied with my investigation at the jetty. Okay, all right. I think that's as much as we can squeeze out of this. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and we're going to head down and finish. Well, wait, hang on. There's more crap happening in the house. I forgot. He said there were things to listen to. Oh, hi, Nancy. Is something wrong? I think it's time to move on. I feel like I've worn out my welcome here. Oh, why do you say that? People here are so unfriendly, rude even. I much prefer birds and the great outdoors. Not to mention poor Margot. The lodge is full of so much tension, angry muffled voices, slamming doors. I'm going to head to bed soon. Maybe things will look better in daylight. I hope so, Kimmy. Good night. Good night, Nancy. This will be our only chance to talk to her. Maybe. Before the world ends. Okay. Actually, I should be deleting later things rather than earlier things. Too late. I don't know what his problem is. He stormed into our bedroom and yelled at me for no reason. He seemed upset about the map I was looking at, so I burned it in the fireplace. I've had it with these unpleasant people. I look forward to moving on when I can. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Sulaks. I really hope I get to see them. It's one of the greatest public works projects of the past century. Okay. I wonder how Albert will conduct his fieldwork tomorrow. He strikes me as very thorough. Sadly, we probably won't be around to find out, as Jack is planning on taking us to the train in the morning. Well, that's from the first chapter. I'm sorry, Nancy, I don't know anything about that. Let's see. No idea, Nancy. I'm a little upset right now. Okay, fine. I think this might help. The ranger is here. He's the one you wanted to tell. It's his job. Okay, fine. Margot seems nice, but it's hard to tell, don't you think? I tend to take people at face value. She's friendly. I like her. All right, never mind. Sulaks. What is Sulaks? Hang on. Like lightly on Albert's door. Leave me alone, whoever it is. I'm busy. Can we open the door? We can. Ah, I forgot to lock my door again. I've had more than enough of your company, Nancy. Please leave me to my work. What is Sulaks? I don't know what about that, Nancy. I'm a mineralogist, not a civil engineer. He seems rather dull. Most law enforcement officers are, I found. The ranger is nosy but harmless. Kimmy, on the other hand. Kimmy, what about her? She's planning something, mark my words. While you're a rather meddlesome girl, you're harmless. Huh. What's Kimmy planning? You seem like a nice, innocent girl. Stay away from that one. Kimmy doesn't fool me. She's up to something, mark my words. Does this have anything to do with the heated conversation I saw you having with Kimmy? What were you two talking about? That is none of your business. Huh. The civil engineering project. She was interested in bridges. And then the bridge blew up. But she was nowhere near there when it happened. Bridge? I didn't notice one. Okay. Okay. Wasn't Nessa also looking for the brooch? Yes, and I think she'll probably be in the bedroom chambers. But you know, I'm remembering things. Who else did he talk to? Nathan. He appears to be an associate of Mr. Richards. I don't know where the woman is. Why don't you go and look for her? Diamonds carry a certain mystique. The aristocracy is mad for them. Albert, it looks a bit like you're working on 2 copies of a report. Albert glares at you for a moment before speaking. That is standard procedure for reports. I submit 1 copy and retain the other. Oh, I see. Thanks for clearing that up. Now, please leave me alone. Oh, hey, what's in your wastebasket? Just out of curiosity. Albert's wastepaper basket is filled with... What do you think you're doing, going through my rubbish? Leave that alone. Oh, sorry. You're too curious. There are reasons for that. Your books look so new. I take good care of my things. Let's see, is there anything else we want to interrogate him about? This woman committed murder. I don't think telling him that is going to help. Last time I saw Mr. Richards, he was drunkenly staggering about in the woods. He seems to favor Canadian whiskey, that one. Like me, he's a busy man. He's often in his own room working, or at the bar rewarding himself for a job well done. How do you feel about money? Yes. Although he also enjoys sitting outside on that hard, splintery bench with his shoes in that dreadful mud. In that way, we differ. Wait a minute. Can't use the word money in this game. Capitalism doesn't exist in this game. Not really. Okay. I do not wish to discuss that with you. Do not taint my work, miss. Okay. You're too curious. Yes, there's a reason for that. We already did that. Jack was just in here, imploring me to join the rest of the guests in the dining room. No, that's earlier. I suppose I'll humor him in the end. I feel as though that's from earlier. We're gonna try something. This certainly doesn't seem pleased with all the new guests. I'm here for a good reason. I don't know about the rest of you. Fly paper. Jar. Okay. Well, that's all we've got. I can't think of anything else. And it's not possible. We could give him this cookie. I don't know if he's going to respond appropriately. That doesn't seem to work. He's become immune to the cookies. Oh no. Anyway. On closer inspection, you realize that these clothes are all clean. They've just been hastily tossed into the crate, causing them to look untidy. Yeah. I don't think I really need to do any of this anymore, but crates of secrets that will remain a mystery. I'm pretty sure there's only clothes in here. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and head over here. You don't hear any voices at the boudoir door. You don't hear any voices at the ensuite door. Door is open, though. I think you can hear someone or something moving around in the walk-in closet. There it is! Ribbons of intention. Hello! Greetings. I keep looking at the lamp on the bedside table and seeing a smaller character like Nancy, maybe more angular hair, looking at the dude. The lamp? Hang on, I need to go back and look at the lamp, but first I must listen to what's happening here. You can hear rustling and clattering and muttering voices. Will this help? You can't use the drinking glass on that door. It's currently open. Hang on. This bedside lamp? Oh, you mean the in Albert's room? Ah, it is tricky. It is funny what these pixels will do to the eyes. Anyway, I guess we'll go and we'll annoy them as they search. Don't you dare touch a thing! I'm looking for my ruby brooch, the one Margot stole. Oh, well, I can help you look for it. Not on your life. You'll just pocket it for yourself. Get out of here. Huh. My ruby brooch? Have you seen it? I'm looking for it now. I'm sure Margot stole it. Now that she's dead and Evan's wandered off and Jack's busy getting the ranger settled, I can finally look for it without hindrance. Mrs. Crabbe is a fine woman. It only stands to reason she should own fine jewelry. I really don't want her to find her brooch again, I don't think, but dang, lady. However, there's so much here. That's already stuff we have. That's what makes it difficult to like her. It really does, especially since she murdered Margot. Okay. I have nothing compelling to say about that. Margot seems like a real sweetheart. I know a type, little gold digger. Margot seems so gracious and kind. Some women are skilled at acting in ways that will profit them. Okay. I have nothing compelling. Nessa, I found your fingerprint on this jam jar. So what? I found it in the river. There's a damp strip of flypaper in the jar. And if you examine the jar closely, there's a white powdery residue inside. The boxes of flypaper at the lodge contain arsenic. It says so right on the box. You've soaked the flypaper in water to get the poison out of them. Murdering attitudes usually make it difficult to like someone too. Yeah, that too. I found the same. I think they're gonna gang up on her after this, but it's interesting. I found the same type of white powdery residue on the inside of Margot's drinking glass. I bet if the residue in the glass were to be tested, it would be arsenic. I think you soaked the strips of flypaper in this jar to extract their arsenic and use them to poison Margot. When she was alive, Margot spoke of bodily aches and pains and nausea, but those were recent occurrences. Probably around the time you and Corvus showed up to the lodge, I'm assuming. I examined Margot's body. I found indications that her body had been exposed for some time to arsenical compounds. I'm not used to that word. Arsenical. arsenical compounds. Margot was treating an illness with a Salvarsan kit. Salvarsan contains arsenic. Well, she could have died by foolishly overdosing on that. Actually, that's pretty much impossible. The Salvarsan was dispensed in one-use glass ampoules. Those doses weren't enough to be fatal. Sure, Salvarsan can be a dangerous compound, but Margot's body was tolerating it with minor side effects. Until tonight. I saw you empty your flask in the apple orchard. You were concealing arsenic-infused water in your flask. I overheard your conversation with Corvus in the apple orchard. Pretty incriminating. Margot's health was declining quickly. She was experiencing pain and nausea. Arsenical? Arsenical? Arsenical. I, too, am cynical. Anyway. Who is cynical? Arsenical. Margot's health was declining quickly. She was experiencing pain and nausea. But, yeah, no, so that's the medical pronunciation. Arsenical. I witnessed Margot experiencing convulsions just before she died. That indicates acute arsenic poisoning. I have deduced enough about Margot's fate to make a very strong case to the authorities. I believe you murdered Margot and used arsenic that you obtained from flypaper to do it. Jack will be fetching a ranger soon. You'll have to answer for these crimes. Do you really think so? Oh. You have nothing compelling to say about that. Corvus and Nessa overpower you and drag you towards the rushing river. Help, someone! Your calls for help go unheeded. Your shoes make small scuff marks in the ground. They're taking you down to the waterfall that cascades over the escarpment. Oh no! This is the same... Yeah. Well, we found another death. Don't go chasing waterfalls. You should stick to these slow, safe rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Yes, that was the problem. All right. Well, never mind. So you were right. Oh! Congratulations. Thank you. You were right about the poisoning, but I'm not sure it mattered in this instance. No, not really. Okay. Well, we know where they are. That was fun. Okay, I think I'm just going to go and go to the smokehouse now because I feel as though this is it. I feel as though... this is all we can do at this point. Arsenic. Hi, Jack. Hi, Nancy. Whew, I'm just taking a bit of a break before I go up to bed. I've really been run off my feet these days. Yes. Yes, it's true. Let's see. Yeah, we'll delete that. Okay. Ranger Murdoch has settled in for the night. He's had a long day. Tomorrow morning he'll be taking a look at poor Margot. Can't say I got much to say about that. What key do you want to know about? Can't say I got much. Hang on. Linen closet. Let's see. He's not going to say much. I'm really concerned about Mr. Richards, Jack. I think something's happened to him. Have you seen him recently? Look, Nancy, I'm not proud to tell you this, but sometimes Mr. Richards gets a bit belligerent when he drinks. Shouting, breaking stuff, you know. You're getting late for me tonight. Good night, Hawkeye! Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it. I'm probably going to be diving off shortly myself, but I have been entwined in this, and I just want to get a tiny bit further. Thanks so much for coming. He's probably off somewhere in the woods cooling off. This has been a very trying time for him. Please leave him alone, Nancy. Okay, Jack. Okay. Let's see. Nessa's lackey. I think they're both in Margot's big closet room. Nessa thinks Margot stole her ruby brooch, so they're tearing the place apart looking for it. If Nessa was a nice person, I'd say the theft of her brooch was a real shame. Yeah. Why wasn't Nathan at the meeting with Ranger Murdoch? Well, he's not really supposed to visit here, not without a pass from the Indian agent of his reservation. No one from the reservation is allowed to leave the reservation without the agent say so. Is that what they actually... I guess that might be a legal status they're referring to. But it should be... I imagine perhaps it's been updated since this era, and they refer to it as indigenous. I believe that is a term that's like a legal term in Canada now, I think I've heard. I am not Canadian. I don't know. But anyway, they risk losing Indian status. It's ridiculous. That's why Nathan made himself scarce. Nathan is probably still out in the smokehouse looking for something. Don't know what. He seems kind of preoccupied, wants to be left alone. Nathan's looking for something? Like when the two of you were walking back and forth along the riverbank by the big bridge? What were you looking for? You like to walk out there is all. It's relaxing. Relaxing? It certainly didn't look very relaxing. You both seemed pretty tense. Never you mind, Nancy. Stay away from the riverbank. It gets muddy. It'd soil your nice shoes. Huh. Great. Okay. Bit of a temper on that one, huh? At least he keeps his room clean. In Canada, they're the people of the First Nations, memory serves. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's... I just remember hearing about that recently, and I couldn't recall quite. Okay. Let's go. Let's go find Evan. Our destiny appears to be carrying us to the smokehouse. Here we are. Hello? Signs of a struggle continue in the area around the smokehouse. The scuff marks and shoe prints continue along the path and into the smokehouse. The door to the smokehouse is shut tight, but you can hear some indistinct noises inside. Eek! A note has been added to your notebook. Investigate the area around the smokehouse. The smokehouse is small, but looks like it gets the job done. The grate close to the ceiling is blackened by wood smoke. You can see the orchard to the north, a forest clearing to the west, and the river to the south. You see some tiny specks sparkling in the moonlight. There are scuff marks and shoe prints on the path leading into the smokehouse. I really don't like the look of this. There's something round and metallic shining on the path. It looks like a button. Okay. Shiny metal button is lying on the path. This is a gray metal button with 4 buttonholes. Ah, so this button belongs to Corvus. Ah! I have a friend in the modern day that talks about what he is going to do with his Indian money. I suspect there's some implied irony in its use. Yeah. Because don't blame anyone. Let's see. Because I mean, usually, and here in the U.S., we the term we use now is Native American. But at least I believe it still is. But I just find it surprising that it keeps coming up in this game. But again, I think they're talking about a legal status at the time, probably. But anyway, what am I looking at? I'm looking at. Do I need to take this button? I might need to take the button. You pick up the round metal button. Okay, now look path, look ground. There's an overgrown path leading towards the smokehouse. There are scuffs and shoe prints on the path leading into the smokehouse. You can see some sparkles on the path. Thanks to the moonlight, you can see minute sparkles glinting on the ground. The tiny, shiny specks are only visible in the moonlight. They're impossible to examine closely. The minuscule specks are no larger than grains of sand. You can only see them because of the light hitting them. You can't pick them up. Put tape on sparkles. No result. Okay. I appreciate the pathfinding this game. It's very detailed, isn't it? The scuff marks on the dirt path lead into the smokehouse. Right? That's one thing I love about this game is just how detail-oriented it is. And I'm sure some people hate that about this game, but I adore it. Uh-oh. Mr. Richards was forced against his will into the smokehouse. This doesn't look good. More notes. Shoe prints. There's some shoe prints on the dirt path leading to the smokehouse. These shoe prints look larger than size 12, which is what Mr. Richards wears, but I should take a closer look. Yep. These shoe prints came from a size 14 and size 8 shoes, which is Nessa and Corvus. I know Mr. Richards wears size 12 shoes, so he certainly didn't make these. According to what I've deduced, Nessa and Corvus attacked Mr. Richards at the jetty and dragged him into the smokehouse. Their shoe prints are all over the jetty and leading to the smokehouse. These scuff marks I've found came from rubber-soled shoes, the kind that Mr. Richards wears. No one else at the lodge wears shoes or boots with rubber soles. One of Corvus's vest buttons somehow ended up near the smokehouse, too. Some of Nessa's hair was caught in a tree between the jetty and the smokehouse. That's definitely unusual. Nessa and Corvus were discussing something about a will, but whose? Oh, but I remember overhearing a conversation between them about looking for Evans and Nessa's father's will. But I know that their father didn't leave behind a will. Uh-oh. Could Nessa and Corvus be writing their own will and trying to force Evan to sign it? But how would that be of any help to them unless... Uh-oh. I've investigated all that I can. It's time to go inside the smokehouse and see what's happened in there. I've just thought of something else, though. Another point of information that might... Because if they washed their shoes off, that would have happened in the mudroom. There might be more evidence in the mudroom now, possibly. Not sure. President actually should go check with message Corvus directly. Yes, I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm sure everything will be fine. Everything will be absolutely fine. Let's see. I just unfortunately, I have this need to be thorough. The basin, that's what it's called. Mudroom has a tile floor, making it easier to clean. I'm not gonna say too much here. Drawers, baskets, cubbies for boots. I just want to see if it's been used recently. The basin is low and has a brass spout and faucet. There's a rubber hose attached to the spout, which we presume helps with boot washing. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna do any more of this. I'm going now. I'm going back. It's fine. Everything's fine. Jim will never finish pursuing leads in this game. Everyone, perhaps even Nancy, will be dead, but there'll still be leads to pursue. It's important. Okay. Now. You don't hear any voices. It was worth a check. I think it was. You don't hear any voices. You open the smokehouse door. Here we go. Nathan, I have a theory about what's happened to Evan. Oh, he's not here. Where is he now? I'm listening. There are shoe prints all over the jetty leading into the smokehouse. Yes, I saw those, but I have no idea whose those could belong to. I do. I did a bit of detective work and learned the shoe sizes of everyone in the lodge. You did? I certainly did. And according to my findings, I've concluded that Nessa and Corvus dragged Mr. Richards off the jetty into the smokehouse. That makes a lot of sense to me, Nancy. But where is he now? That's what we need to find out. You're absolutely right about that. Please let me take a look in here and see what I can find. You've done very well, Nancy. Maybe you can figure out where Evan is now. So far, I've come up empty-handed. Thanks, Nathan. I'll try not to let you down. If you find anything of significance, let me know as soon as possible. Will do. Where are you going? Oh, one more thing. Yes, Nancy? Nessa seems to be desperately looking for something. I'm not sure what. It's the brooch. She's looking for the brooch. She's made a mess of... Well, she's also looking for the will that doesn't exist. She's made a mess of the study. There are papers all over. I think it has something to do with a will. I heard them talking about it in the parlor last night. A will? Come to think of it, they were discussing Evan's and Nessa's father's will. That was after dinner yesterday. Yes, I did. And you know what else I learned? Excuse me, I need to contact the ranger with this information. Mr. Richards Sr. didn't leave a will, I know that. Which means Nessa and Corvus aren't trying to get him to reveal its location. I think they want even more than that. What if Nessa and Corvus intend on creating a new will, but it's Evan's, to ensure Nessa will inherit the lodge and land after he dies? I need to go talk to Jack about all this. Meet us in the study when you're finished here. You can tell us all about this ersatz will in the mineralogical report then. Good luck, Nancy. Good luck to you, too. Okay. Okay, what have we here? A note has been added to your notebook. All right. I need to go, but I will look around. I will look around. I will look around. Because I must. Okay. An array of smoked meat and fish are hanging to dry and cure. A work table with a deeply scratched work surface is against one wall. You see a big bag of salt, a barrel, and a large pot. The smokehouse is in disarray. Debris covers the table and floor, and there might even be something on the wall. Eek, what happened here? Okay. All right. Look at debris. These jagged fragments of Jordan almonds found in the smokehouse are wickedly sharp. There we go. Those candy shells are like glass. I need to be careful with them. I know that Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be that these were used against him? This looks bad. Fleur. You see tiny glittery specks on the floor of the smokehouse. You can barely make out some yellow fibers on the floor of the smokehouse. Do I also see some crumbs? Okay. Tiny glittery specks. Okay, well, first of all, Inspecting the Jordan almond fragments through your loop, you can see conchoidal fractures in the candy shell that remind you of the sharpest obsidian. Dark, using those against a person. I mean, yeah. Shiny like obsidian, too. Eek. I know that Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be that these were used against him? This looks bad. Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be Nessa was trying to weaponize them to use against him? Maybe that's why Nessa brought the Jordan almonds in the first place. She could have been scheming this entire time. Do I see an oily mark on one of the almond fragments? Now we know what time it is now. Time to dust for fingerprints. Investigating the smokehouse. Told Nathan about Evan's disappearance. Evan is allergic to nuts, and Nessa exploited this fact. Okay. Dust almonds for prints. You carefully dust the Jordan almond fragments for fingerprints, and amazingly you're able to recover a partial fingerprint from one of the larger pieces of Jordan almond. Lift print. Get print with tape. Okay. Inspecting the Jordan almond fragments through your loop, you can see conchoidal fractures in the candy shell that remind you of the sharpest obsidian. After comparing the partial fingerprint you obtained from the Jordan almond pieces, you conclude Nessa is the one who crushed these Jordan almonds in the smokehouse. And how was he kept here? The smokehouse door doesn't lock. Okay. All right. Remove some of the Jordan almond fragments from the table, taking great care not to pierce your skin on the jagged pieces. These fragments of Jordan almonds that you found in the smokehouse are wickedly sharp. Aha, I've revealed a partial fingerprint on one of the larger fragments of Jordan almond. Who is Jordan? Why? Inspecting the Jordan almond fragments through your loop, you can see conchoidal fractures in the candy. Nessa is the one who crushed these Jordan almonds in the smokehouse. How is he kept here? Put tape on almonds. You carefully apply a bit of tape to the partial fingerprint revealed on the jagged piece of Jordan almond. You mark the back of this fingerprint as evidence taken from the shattered Jordan almonds are found in the smokehouse. That's basically... I just want to make sure we've got all the evidence that we need. Did we put tape on the jar? No. Anyway. Are you carrying the jam jar? There's fingerprint there. There's no need to lift it from the jar. Okay. That's the thing I was always worried about. Anyway, the floor. Specks, fibers, and crumbs. Okay. Specks. The little specks could be salt. Their proximity to the bag of rock salt increases the plausibility of this observation. Okay. Fibers. There are some frayed fibers. It recognizes the American spelling. There are some frayed fibers littering the floor of the smokehouse. The fibers have come off from a woven hempen rope, probably due to friction. Could it be that Mr. Richards was tied up here in the smokehouse? Uh-oh. A note has been added to your notebook. I wonder if that rope is still around that tree. Examine the rope fibers. Evan may have been tied up in the smokehouse. Can we get the fibers? You decide the frayed rope fibers aren't worth taking. Crumbs. You see some kind of crumbs scattered on the smokehouse floor. I wonder what these crumbs came from. With the aid of the loop, you conclude that the crumbs are probably from the thumbprint cookies you saw Jack baking earlier. Huh. I mean, anyone could have taken some. I can even see that some of the crumbs have bright red raspberry jam on them. Who would bring thumbprint cookies into the smokehouse? A note has been added to your notebook. The plot thickens. Thumbprint cookie crumbs. Take the crumbs! We can't, probably. While the crumbs seem relevant to your investigation, you don't want them in your pocket. There are bits of jam on them, too. Sticky and itchy. No thanks. All right. Look at the wall. The rough stone walls of the smokehouse, much like the floor, have been blackened by smoke. You can just barely make out a symbol low on the wall and under the table. Oh, what could that be? There seems to be some sort of symbol sloppily painted on the wall under the table. It was not there before. I'm not surprised Nathan missed that. If I was just a bit taller, I wouldn't have seen it myself. Good lord. The symbol appears to be a circle within a circle. The smaller circle is copiously filled in with the red substance. Uh-oh. I wonder what the symbol is painted with. It's definitely not paint. It's sticky, drippy red, and a bit chunky. Eek. Note has been added to your notebook. Oh dear. Identify the substance the symbol inside the smokehouse is made from. I don't know if this is just going to be the same thing. Yeah. Get substance. I don't think it would be useful to dust that for fingerprints. I do have concerns about the level of contamination happening in our smokehouse. This is true. Arsenic poisoning, lethal food poisoning. Nessa has quite the repertoire. She does, doesn't she? Take sample of substance. Use shovel with substance. Get substance with shovel. Get substance. Identify substance. Game, please! Yeah, I know, right? Identify the substance the symbol inside the smokehouse is made from. Touch symbol. With much trepidation, you reach out your finger and lightly touch it to the ominous red symbol. It's sticky. Oh, what's the smell? Raspberry jam? Ah, I think I figured it out. Nessa crushed the Jordan almonds on the table. Mr. Richards is allergic to nuts. Could it be she was trying to weaponize them against him? Maybe that's why Nessa brought the Jordan almonds in the first place. She could have been scheming this entire time. Judging from the frayed rope fibers, Mr. Richards could have been tied up in the smokehouse after he disappeared from the jetty. I think Mr. Richards partially freed himself and painted a symbol with raspberry jam. He took care to conceal the symbol under the table. It could indicate where he was taken next. The symbol looks like the thumbprint cookies that I saw Jack baking, and their middles were filled with raspberry jam. I remember Jack saying that Mr. Richards likes to stash the cookies in his pockets. And I did find cookie crumbs on the floor of the smokehouse. I know that is another name for the thumbprint cookies is Hallengrotta. Hallengrotta means raspberry cave in Swedish, so if Mr. Richards is trying to help people find him, then he's in a place that would be like a raspberry cave. Garnets! He must have been taken to the garnet mines. What's Nessa planning? I don't have a good feeling about this. I'll talk to Jack and Nathan. Maybe they can help. Okay. Well, there we are. So, not blood. No, thankfully. Thankfully, it's jam. Okay. So we finished investigating the smokehouse interior. Also, much as I'm enjoying this, you do have things to do. I fear this at this rate you'll be 3 more hours in. No, we're done. I'm done. The next thing is to talk to Jack and Nathan, but I'm saving here because it is time to save our game. Yeah, I'm gonna delete stalling, and now heading to talk. And so next time, talking to Jack and Nathan about all of this. That's it. Okay. All right. That's that. I think for now that shall be all. So, thank you all very much for watching. I very much appreciate it. It's getting exciting. Yeah, 3 days later. Yeah, it's after midnight now. I gotta stop. I was going to have so much time. But this tiny little bit took a little bit longer than I expected. Alas. Could we be jelly? It could be. Thank you so much for watching. What do I have happening? And thank you for joining us. Good time. See us. Take care, Ribbons of Intention. Thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. I will be doing more of this at some point when I have time. But of note, what is happening next? Well, tomorrow night on this channel, we are back to TTRPGs. We are playing what is probably the penultimate session of our current season of Lords of Gossamer and Shadow. And there's stuff happening there. We kind of have a plan, and we're going to be doing things where we have one of our members who's being pieces of one of our members' soul is being held by one of the other Lords of Gossamer and Shadow, one of the other Gossamer Lords, and we're trying to get those pieces back. And so we're going to be going to an event where we will perhaps confront him. We will see what happens. But let's see. After that, on Tuesday evening, we will have Gossamer. Yes, that's that evening. Tuesday evening will be the finale of our short campaign of Draw Steel. We'll be coming back to that. Very much looking forward to that final encounter. That's a bunch of stuff happening in a big city. We're going to have to refresh our memories about what has been happening because we had to take a couple of weeks off. But that will be happening on Tuesday. Hopefully that Lord doesn't have conspirators larger than you in a fast-moving river. I know, that's the tricky thing. Always got to watch out for the rivers. It's going to be happening in a place that I think has quite a few of them, so we're going to have to be careful. But let's see. So Tuesday, the end of our short campaign of Draw Steel. And then that's everything for this coming week, aside from me doing more of this or Stranded Sails or another game, which, we'll see what happens. Also, though, it is significant that I must also make sure I check out all the player shoe sizes. That's very important. That's key, I think, to what's going to be happening here. We have signups open for a game that is going on. That is going to be going on probably around the end of June, beginning of July. We are, for the first time, I'm going to be dipping my toes in the Warhammer universe. Strangely. Never done it before. I've just always been curious. My friend Pope is going to be running a short campaign of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound. So that is a more heroic, very recent TTRPG that they've put out. So if there is interested in that, feel free to check that out. I've put a link to the sign up in the chat. Also, you can, if you're watching on Twitch, you can go down below, click on RPG sign up, or you can go to jimyesthatjim.com and click on game sign up. Beginners are always welcome. I'm very much looking forward to this. I think it's gonna be very interesting. Also very over the top. Lots of dark fantasy, horror and satire also. It'll be fascinating. So looking forward to that. That sign up runs through the end of this month, so May 31st. So you have that long for anyone who's interested. And that, I think, is everything I wanted to tell folks right now. Thank you all once again. When we hit the end card, we're going to go say hi to somebody. There are a few people still streaming. Happy Jackson's streaming. Nerds with Dice. Save versus Death. Sparkles Manny. I'll figure out who I want to say hi to. There are several people streaming. Feel free to hang on if you're so inclined. and say hi to them with us. Again, that will be when we hit the end card. Uncle Hammer needs you. But in the meantime, folks, thanks again for watching. And please remember that you are unique, and that is wonderful, because variety is very important, especially right now. And so you matter. Please take care of yourselves, and I will see you all of a sudden.